Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
And the season is underway.
Yes, it is.
Hey, yeah.
Right on time.
Hey, it's not as bad as you think. It is not as bad as you think. We'll tell you why. At least I will. I'm not sure what the guys are going to say.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as it looks. Mike, you want to do a read, and then we're going to dive right in with our gut reaction.
Yeah, we got 2 hours of Browns-Bengals reaction today, guys. No guards, no Cavs, no Ohio State. Just everything you need to know about what happened yesterday. We'll dive
Mike,
right
you mean
into
we're not breaking down Ohio State Grambling today?
We are not.
That
I
big
think you
matchup?
should have left at least 30 seconds for that.
Here's the recap. It happened.
Touchdown, Ohio State.
And let's get into what
10
we
of
have
them.
to, guys. We'll start with a word from FanDuel, though. The NFL season's here. FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with can't-miss offers. Right now, new customers can bet $5, and if that $5 bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So get ready to play. If you want to get in on the action, just download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. That is FanDuel.com/UCSS to place your first $5 bet. Send us your winning tickets and continue to make sure FanDuel stays America's #1 sportsbook. Shotgun reaction, guys. We'll go around the horn. Jason, let's start with you on this one. Your big takeaway, your instant takeaway from the Browns' 17-16 loss to the Bengals in Week 1.
Well, my instant takeaway was I thought it was appropriate that a fan threw a Buzz Pleasure Palace onto the field because no team in the NFL likes to screw themselves better than the Cleveland Browns.
Now, does our audience know what you're talking about?
Oh, they know.
I'm sure
Did they
everybody
show
knows.
it on TV? I never saw it on TV.
I mean, the word spread on social media enough that I think.
We think that because we see
Yeah,
social
all
media,
right.
80% of Americans see 0 tweets every day.
Oh,
Fair.
they know.
So,
they know.
okay, okay.
And when it happened, it was laying in the end zone or near the goal line.
No one
I don't
wanted
think
to
I
touch
can.
it.
Can I use the actual word of what it
Why
is?
not?
It's not yeah.
Okay, all right. So it's laying there on the field, and Zach Jackson, of course, is sitting next to me. And he goes, "There's a flag on the play." And he goes, and I thought the same thing. I'm like, it's a little off-colored for being a penalty flag. He goes, well, it's either a flag or a green dildo. I'm not sure. And I laughed. And he goes, no, I'm serious. And I said, no, I know you are. And then, like, the official picked it up, like, raw dogged it, barehanded, picked it up, threw it off the field. I'm like, my Lord, I can't believe you. How did you get that in here? How did they sneak that in? That's what I want to know. Where'd you hide it? Where'd you hide it to bring it into the stadium?
It's funny, but also the people that do these things are such losers.
It's funny.
Well, the trend is carried over from the WNBA.
Yeah.
Now into the NFL.
Well, I think it's egregious in the
Get used to it.
WNBA.
You're gonna
This
see a lot more of
it's
it.
Just ridiculous.
All right, I don't want to sidetrack.
But,
I just thought that was a funny way to start.
It was funny.
It was a good way to start.
Stupid also.
I mean, listen, the Browns, I wrote this morning that they know how to carve out the organs of their fan base with the blowtorch and rusty pliers.
Yep.
And the kicker this week happened to be the surgeon scrubbing in, and he's all thumbs. Andre Szymt, the poor guy. We'll get to him in a minute.
Oh.
Jay, I'm in agreement with you. Yes, the ending is terrible. It was awful. Another painful, gutting loss. But if you're going to judge this team on playoffs or bust, if you're going to judge this team on did they win or lose the game, you're in for a very long season because this is not a good football team. But if you're looking for the fact that this is year one of a 2-year cleanse of the roster, of the salary cap, of all that stuff, if you see what they did on the defensive line, that was incredible. The second half of the defensive line play was as good as you're going to see in the NFL. If you look at the fact that the operation was clean on the offensive side, there were things to build on off of this. And yes, I know all about you don't care about moral victories. It's Cleveland. I get it. This is the reality of the situation where they're at, guys. Deshaun wrecked the entire organization, and you have to start over. That's just the reality of where they are. And if you go from that lens, I thought there was a lot of things that you hoped you thought were true this preseason that turned out to be true in week one.
Yeah.
Gee.
Disagrees with me.
This is whack as hell. And I don't know if I can say the H word. I mean, I go back and look, and I looked up the stats, and I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm looking at them from '96, and I could count how many times on their hand that they've gone under 5 wins. I believe it's 4 in almost 30 years, right? The Cleveland Browns, I would get that it would be cool if this was a, hey, we're going to cleanse this of 2 years, but we've been cleansing this from everybody that's been in the organization. And I'm really tired of cleansing. Man, I did my facial treatment last night. I don't want to cleanse. Like, in the
You
reality,
gotta get used to it this year.
Man, now listen. Well, if I'm gonna get used to it, I don't want the people that's getting used to it coaching and being a general manager here.
Ooh, interesting.
Nah, it shouldn't be interesting.
Either one.
Either one or both of them.
So they both should go.
But here's what I'm saying. We've been here doing the same thing, and we're gonna sit here and do the moral victory thing again. We had 3 wins last year. This game was a winnable football game. Very winnable, right? Mm-hmm. The Bengals played like dog crap. The Bengals played around the whole doggone game. They didn't have no offensive kick. The defense was so-so. It was nothing to write home about the Cincinnati Bengals. We talked about them having a high-powered offense, and the defense came out, and Myles Garrett dominated up front. Matter of fact, I want to just throw a PSA. If we want to talk about Myles Garrett's speeding tickets, I'll pay him for them. We're not talking about that no more. Matter of fact, leadership is what Myles Garrett did when you needed 2.5 sacks in a couple of seconds. That is leadership. Play on the field. He keeps showing up. I don't care how many trades he requests. If I can get 75 other guys to request trades and play like that, I'll take it. Besides that, guys are dropping the football. We could talk about the kicker. But Jerry Jeudy dropped the football. This wasn't Joe Flacco. If you tuned in to hear G. Bush give you, it was, let's do the quarterback thing. We blaming Flacco. No. Flacco played well. The balls hit you in the hand. You got to catch the ball, Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman. But what's the consequences? They still going to play because the roster is garbage at receiver. I come in here every year and people say I'm the Duke and knee-jerk because I want more than one receiver that can catch the ball. When you don't get them, you get 50-50 balls that get tapped in the air. Because guess what? They're not prime-time receivers. This is what happens. So you get interceptions, and then here's my thing too. No, I'm not going to say poor guy was listen, this is the NFL. This is not MAC football. This is not JV football on a Tuesday.
Shout out to OU, by the way.
Shout out to OU who got a win, by the way. That's the only thing I had looking forward to this weekend. But guess what? If you can't, I'm asking. I'm going to throw the question out, and it's a running poll. Why the hell can't you find no kicker? I'm talking about basic 31, 32-yard field goals, chip shots, high school stuff. You can't find a kicker, right? You can't find receivers, right? But I'm supposed to sit here and think you're going to find a quarterback? You couldn't find a receiver, a kicker for 4 years. You keep getting them. You don't know who to put in. And we can't complete regular kicks to win football games. This was one of the most winnable games on your schedule. You gave it away like it was nothing. You know who you got next week? The Ravens. You think they're going to look like this? Go back and watch those other teams. Go back and watch how the Chargers looked in week freaking 1. They hitting on all cylinders. And we got to warm our way up to being 0-8. That's crazy to me. We're looking good. Hey, Dylan Sampson caught a couple dump-off passes. No, we keep losing these games despite who we got on the roster, despite who we draft. We find new ways to win. My question is, we going to keep talking about, this is a progress or how many draft picks we got? Because our quarterback being in 26 don't help none of that we just talked about right here. If Shedeur Sanders was playing, guess what? Balls will still be dropping off people's helmets. If Dylan Gabriel was playing, what changes this outcome if any one of those guys are playing? Nothing. There were winnable plays, and again, Cleveland Browns decided that they were going to do a down their leg and hand it away. Now, let's see how many more games that the other opponent gives you a football game this year. The schedule don't look like it's going to happen. No, I'm tired of it. No, I don't want to see it. They blew another game away for no reason.
I must be getting more patient and mature in my 60s because that was me at 4:15 yesterday. It really was. I was furious. It was similar to the Jets game a number of years ago.
That was inexcusable and atrocious.
The Jets?
Yes.
Yes, it was. But to me, yesterday was too. So there's, multiple things can be true at the same time. I'm very angry, but I'm also slightly encouraged. Not for this year, not for making the playoffs. Here's why I'm encouraged. Despite the fact that our general manager has been derelict of duty, who leads the team in scoring every year in the NFL? Who are the leading scorers in the NFL?
Kickers.
Okay. Take everything else off the table. His dereliction of duty and his inability to bring in a kicker that can give the team stability at that position is cause for termination in my eyes. It is the leading scorer of every team. How many games have the Cleveland Browns lost in his tenure because of missed extra points or field goals? I know guys miss. Atlanta missed a big one yesterday. There were big misses last night in the unbelievable game of the year already. It's going to happen. But while that is true to me, Andrew Berry's inability to bring in wide receivers and kickers, those are two of the most important positions on a football team. He has proven, he is absolutely, here's how incapable he was, guys. The Bills get an injury to their kicker. When they showed Matt Prater on the sidelines yesterday, I literally thought to myself, how did that dude get out of the stands and onto the sidelines? Because it was a tight shot of his face. And I'm like, that guy's on the sidelines. And it turns out that guy kicked the game-winning field goal at 41 years old. I looked at the waiver wire today. I looked at available kickers. Mm-hmm. 4 of them are guys the Browns have had on their roster. Mm. Zane Gonzalez.
Greg Joseph.
Seibert. Cade York. It's littered with guys that Andrew Berry once upon a time thought, yeah, this guy can kick. You better figure that position out. Because from now on, I'm not blaming the kicker. That guy was overwhelmed. He shouldn't have been in that position.
He didn't walk in and say, give me a job. You said, hey, let me call you up and bring you in.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me. Now, all of that's to me my big takeaway from, like, yes, the wide receivers turn completions into interceptions. Proving once again that the interception stat is one of the most misleading in sports. I think there should be 3 columns for an interception. That's another discussion.
That's why we have PFF grades, Jay, which you hate.
What's that?
That's why we have PFF grades.
No, I know, but that factors in one part of it.
Most generic stats are misleading.
Yes.
Can be misleading.
In general, you can spin stats however you want. Those interception stats, those are not on Joe. Those are on receivers. My headline Friday was, this was my headline, help wanted. Wide receivers and running back supply. I've been saying all offseason, guys, who are our players? Who's our best player was a rookie. Our best player was a rookie, and he had a drop. I can excuse him for a drop. It's his first day as a professional football player. Cedric Tillman, I can't excuse. I can't excuse your drops. I can't excuse Jerry Jeudy's drops. I can't. Joe Flacco at 40 years old played exactly how I thought he would. He managed the game. He didn't throw the ball downfield. He made good decisions. He threw the ball on time. He threw it on target. His guys let him down. All of that out of the way, there were a million silver linings to me yesterday. I had said also Friday, I think this might be Andrew Berry's best draft class. It's pointing in that direction. I thought the kids played very well. I thought Sampson, I thought he was going to be just a guy, to be honest. When I look at Andrew Berry's draft class, I look at Judkins as the guy that's going to be the stalwart, and I still think he will. But turns out Sampson's more than just a guy. I know you'd rather be the Cincinnati Bengals waking up this morning. I get that. You'd rather be the Bills over the Ravens.
Team, any other team, any of them.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Ravens are waking up this morning feeling pretty black and blue. They gave up 18 points in 4 minutes.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That's not no harm, no foul.
But here's now to that point, what the Browns did to the Bengals offense, which I think is going to be one of the most prolific offenses in the NFL this year, what they did to them puts me back in the 2023 mindset with this defense. This defense is good, guys. If they can stay healthy, this defense is a good defense. I don't know that they're going to be top 5. I think they're going to be top 10. They held, I think, one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league to 110 passing yards? They had 140 total yards of offense. The Browns doubled their offense, and they still couldn't find a way to win the game. I think that reverts back to culture. Bad teams find ways to lose those games. Good teams find ways to win those games. But overall, looking forward, yes, our first 6 games are brutal. But the way they played the Bengals gives me hope that there are some silver linings here. Myles Garrett, another one of my big storylines for the season. He's going to break his own single-season sack record. I stand by that. I think he's going to. The guy's a man among boys. He's unstoppable. And in the big situations yesterday, he stood up and did exactly what we wanted him to do. The wide receivers failed us, and the kicker failed us. Other than that, we beat the Cincinnati Bengals yesterday, or should have. We beat ourselves. But we were the better team yesterday, and I think anybody that objectively watched that football game understands that.
So, once again, this comes down to heart versus head, right? I understand where G. Bush is coming from. As a fan, I'm sick. As a Browns fan, I'm sick of hearing about, look at that promise. Yeah. Look at this promise. We're in good shape for next year. You've
heard it for 25 years?
We've heard it for 45 years. Since Bernie Kosar, that's all fans have heard. Next year, next year, next year, next year. That sucks.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you feel any better
really
when you hand a game away. Yeah. The Browns were by far the better team on the field, especially in the second half. The first half was pretty even. Yeah. The second half, the Browns completely dominated the game.
Did they have a first down in the second half?
I don't think so.
They had 7 yards in the second half.
That's
7 net yards.
It was unbelievable.
And they lost.
And here's the thing. If they had won that game, then we're spending time, it's like all about Myles, because Myles Garrett took over the game. Because in the first half, you forget it because the Browns were so dominant in the second half. In the first half, the Bengals scored 2 touchdowns on 3 drives.
Yeah.
So they were moving the ball, right? The pass rush was a non-factor. I don't think Joe Burrow got touched in the first half of the game.
He wasn't even pressured.
Mason Graham was getting pushed around early.
Mason Graham was getting pushed around early in the game.
Yes, but I did think he held his own later.
Late in the game, he was a dude.
I thought so too. I thought so too.
In the second half of the game, in the first half of the game, I didn't mention Myles Garrett once. Didn't mention Carson Schlesinger once. Didn't mention Mason. The only time we mentioned Mason Graham is when he blew that tackle on when Chase Brown broke out of his tackle.
Yeah.
In the second half, especially Schlesinger and Myles Garrett were on. I felt like one of them made a play on every single play.
Agreed.
Schlesinger was fantastic.
That's one of the reasons I have excitement moving forward.
And Myles Garrett was just incredible. I even think the rest of you are overstating the negative of the wide receivers. Maybe I'm wrong here, and I know I'm in the minority. Jerry Jeudy, it is what it is. He had some bad drops. I actually thought it was a problem.
Well, he led the league in drops last year. That's why to me, if he didn't, okay, they're one-offs. But this is a trend. This is who he is. He's your wide receiver 1.
Guys drop passes sometimes. It happens. I don't think Cedric Tillman. I thought it was a promising game for Cedric Tillman. So I thought that was promising. I thought there was certainly some promising stuff for Dylan Sampson. I mean, he only averaged 2 yards of carry, so I don't want to.
I liked him out of the backfield. I mean, catching passes out of the backfield.
You don't want to go over the top. Listen, one thing also is, and fans do this, and I've already heard some comments to this that I think are happening already. We overreact to week 1, good or bad.
Always.
The New Orleans Saints, after 2 weeks last year, were the best team in football. They had outscored their opponents like 90-15, and then they were one of the worst teams in football.
They lost their quarterback, too.
What quarterback?
Didn't Carr start the first 2 games for them last year and get hurt?
I don't know. It's not like he's any good.
It matters. I mean,
it's not like he's any good.
Well, they were good with him the first 2 weeks.
Let me just finish.
They were good with him the first 2 weeks.
So you can't overreact to what you see in week 1. But I do think, while, yes, in the end they lost, and that's ultimately all that matters, and I can understand why you get frustrated when a lot of members of the media consistently say, the wins don't matter. And I've said it myself. The wins don't matter. Yeah, in a perfect world, the Browns played well and lost, so it gets them closer to a higher draft pick. But G is ultimately right. I don't have any faith, even though it looks promising what Andrew Berry's done this year. I don't have any faith that he's going to get it right at quarterback in the draft, or that he's overall going to draft well enough. A couple of right picks, or at least we think they're right picks, it's based on one game, doesn't mean Andrew Berry's going to get it right. And again, the objective should always be to win football games. And ultimately, they didn't. It comes down to one guy, yes, pretty much. For the Jeudy drop on 4th down. By the way, the Fannin drop on 3rd down, that was on Flacco. That was not on Fannin.
Well, listen.
To me. Flacco wasn't perfect. He played okay, but
not that he went to my high school.
Yeah.
I thought Fannin played well.
He was great.
Fannin was great.
He played well.
He was the offensive silver lining.
If you ask him, he'll probably say he needed to catch it. Where I'm talking about the drops is the fourth down drop by Jerry Jeudy on a slant.
That was terrible. Right in his
stomach.
hands. Right in his stomach. You have to make that play. I hear you.
Yep.
You have to make that play. But ultimately, if Szymt makes his kicks, they win the football game. End of story. It's that simple.
All I ask is just do one or the other. If they catch the football, they win the game.
Yeah.
If they just make the kicks.
Well,
they win the
we
game.
don't know they win the game if they catch the football.
But I mean,
on the interceptions,
drives were stopping because they were dropping
But those
football.
interceptions, those were lucky plays. The Bengals made a nice play catching the ball.
Here's why I don't
Hit
believe
both of them in their hands,
Here's what I don't believe, because like I've been saying, we've been making a lucky play excuse for 45 years. It's 40 years of the Browns doing exactly what they did on that football field.
That's
and by
fair.
the way, we're not angry about the 0-1. We're angry about 3-15 in the last 18 games.
I get
That's
it.
what I'm.
And the Browns are what, 4-22 opening days since coming back in '99. So this idea that it's hard to sell, even though we can use our brains and say, there were some real positives from young players in this game. But it's hard to sell that to fans when all they do is lose. So why am I going to believe this is going to lead to something down the line when it never has in the past?
Because all losses are not created equal. I expected they'd get run off the field yesterday. Bull, I picked 27-10.
I did too, and I was
thought
impressed.
They would get run off the field. And you know what I saw in the second half? I saw the same look on Taylor and Burrow's face that we've seen over the last 5 years when they come in here. They were confused.
Jay, but ultimately they've won 5 of their last 6 against the Browns. It doesn't matter. They won the game.
I get that.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm saying. There's levels of hope. If it was 32-3, I have no hope.
Jay,
the way they played the Bengals yesterday gives me hope that they're going to steal a win or two over these next 5 games that everybody's got checked with losses.
If they finish 4-13 this year, are you going to feel good about the Week 1 loss to the Bengals? No, you're not going to care. You're not going to remember it.
Well, I think me more than anyone on this panel has been pushing back on the narrative from Jay and others that we're not going to win. We're just not. I hate losing more than I love winning, and I love to win. But the fact of the matter is, we knew this was not a good football team coming into this year. We knew that.
And why? The
roster is poorly constructed.
And why did we know? This is my thing. These guys are not showing up and saying, I'm going to play for the Cleveland Browns. There's a person responsible for getting players.
Yes.
And he's not doing a good enough job.
And that's why I led with the Andrew Berry point. Andrew Berry's a very nice man, I'm sure. But we have our heads in the sand. If anyone can sit here and say he has done an adequate job. When he came here, this organization was ranked 13th by one metric. Now they're ranked 31st. He's had 5, 6 drafts, whatever it is.
Ranked 13th?
But Mike gave us a stat in a show. You might not have been here, Bull.
It was the PFF roster.
PFF gave the roster rankings. Every year they do it. When he came in here, they were ranked 13th.
Yeah, but last year I think they were ranked 13th also, or 2 years ago.
Look, they are what they are. Last year we know what they were.
All right, but I'm just...
So here's my point.
Andrew Berry's done a bad job, but I don't think they were very good when he took over.
I'm just telling you where at one point they were 13th when he took over.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
He's got a blind spot, and his blind spot is at wide receiver and kicker.
Well, Jay, let me ask this question because that's going to lead us right into the next topic. That is the talk of the chat. It was the talk of the super chats on our post-game stream. We'll ask about what to do at kicker after we give you a quick word from Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right means cashing in. With football back, Prize Picks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes, all in less than 60 seconds. Download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after you play your first 5. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Speaking of being right, what the heck should the Browns do with Andre Szymt? We know he missed the 2 kicks yesterday, the extra point, the 36-yard chip shot. He has never kicked in the NFL prior to yesterday. It was his first career game. So if you were Andrew Berry, Jay, are you making a change at kicker immediately, or are you going to be patient and give the young buck a little more time to figure things out?
I'm making his change his number immediately. That's when I saw when he saw him out there, he's going to miss. He's wearing number 25. I don't think I've ever seen a kicker wear number 25 before. It just looked odd. He has to go. And I hate to say that because I watched the interview with the young man after the game. My heart bled for him. That's someone's child. He has parents. But this is big boy football. This is the NFL. It's not Arena League. It's not USFL. This is big boy football. And those are makeable kicks. He didn't miss those kicks because of an inability to kick a football 37 and 36 yards. He missed those kicks because the moments were too big for him. And he told us who he was. He could bounce back, he could make kicks, but I don't know what the options are. Like, a lot of times you say, well, this guy's got to go. He's got to go. Okay, well, what's the alternative? Who are you bringing in that's better? There are probably a lot of guys that are out there that are better right now. And the biggest problem is I don't trust the deep thinkers on this team to pick them because their track record is they can't pick them. They've got more former kickers in the last 5 years than I bet any team has had in a 10-year stretch. It's unreal. It's a revolving door. I think when they come in and they give them their uniforms, they actually tell them, you're on a week-to-week basis. You might have to give this back after 1 week. And I feel like at some point today we're probably going to hear that Szymt's, I don't know if it was even brought up last night, if they talked about it after the game. I don't know how do you look the other 52 guys in the face and tell them he's our best option at kicker? Because this same regime did that with a quarterback that every one of those 52 men and every fan in the stadium and watching at home knew that was complete garbage. And if you really think that Deshaun Watson gave us the best chance to win, then we have to start questioning your football acumen. I don't think they can do that again with kicker. How do you tell Myles Garrett we're rolling out there with this guy again?
Now, you got to cut the kicker. I know it's just one game. I know the guy you may bring in may suck also and may miss a big kick.
Probably will be a former Brown.
But you gotta go another option. There's no way you could have any confidence in him. You can't miss. I know it's the first week, but you missed two, like 90. Those are that field goal, that extra point. Those are 90+% kicks. Like, it's not a long kick. Those are easy kicks. A shout out to my boy Darryl Ryder on the Fan who made a great point that it's usually hard to kick in Cleveland. It's one of the hardest places to kick. It wasn't yesterday. The weather was perfect. There was very little wind. There was no rain. There was no, heavy gusts. There was no snow. It wasn't one of these crazy days in Cleveland. If he can't make kicks when the weather's good, he won't be able to make kicks when the weather's bad. It's not like he has any track record of success. You absolutely have to cut him, guys.
No, I'll bring him back.
You bring him back?
Yeah, I would. I'd bring him back.
Yeah.
Because it's one game. It's his first game. And two reasons why I would bring him back. Number one, I talked to enough people in the locker room who actually believe in him, who think he's a really good kicker. It sucks that he had that day because he's a really good kicker. Like, players in the locker room believe. Now, he may be cooked mentally. He might be. You're not going to know that until what do you got to lose? Another game? Okay, fine. They're going to lose anyway. What do you got to lose?
Bush may punch you in the face.
Fine. What, they're going to lose.
If they lose against Baltimore on a missed field goal or extra point, and it's this guy,
then you cut him.
But then you also look at your general manager and said, you wanted to roll him out.
Here's the other thing and I know people are probably going to roll their eyes at this. I was actually impressed by the fact that, like, he was standing in his locker when we walked in there yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I don't give a shit.
But
I know. Fine.
Okay, but the Guardians had an all-star closer who ran home and hit when he blew the game, and he put all of his trophies on Instagram.
Yeah.
And this kid's a rookie who never kicked before, and he stood there and answered every question, and he was accountable. That tells me that there's a level of maturity with this kid and a level of toughness. I know he didn't show it yesterday, but to stand there and answer the questions and to be waiting when everyone walked in, there's merit to that. And I know fans don't care, make the kick. I get it. I'm not saying keep him all year. I'm saying he's a rookie in his first game. I'm sure he had the yips and was a little bit nervous. Give him another game.
You know what it's akin to, Jay? And we actually laughed about this on Friday. The Browns made Charlie Fry their starting quarterback in week 1.
Yeah, and they traded him.
And in week 2, he was traded.
Yeah.
Again, I always say I'm not so much knee-jerk, but I do, like, sometimes I let my heart get in the way of my head. The prudent thing to do is to probably give him another chance.
Give him another chance.
Because
what are you going to go sign Greg Joseph? He's a lot better.
Well, I looked
or
up
any of the
real
other
quick.
guys that they've already cut.
A lot of these guys that they've cycled through have landed with Chase
What-
McLaughlin was here. He's
What
doing
did you say,
fine.
Mike?
Yeah.
Well, I did do a quick search of the best available free agent kickers,
Yeah.
and here's the list. It's a lot of guys that used to play in Cleveland, Jay. You're not kidding, but Greg
Zane
Zerline,
Gonzalez.
Eddie Pinheiro, Michael Badgley.
I mean, just sign Justin Tucker. He can hang out with Deshaun.
Tucker is suspended for 10 games.
Don't sign Justin Tucker.
Tucker's got 9
That
more
was the
games
quickest
to go.
180 I've ever seen.
You know what's
Bull
interesting
do.
about that list? Every guy on that list has made more NFL kicks than Andre Schmidt.
You're right.
All right, fine. Then go get one of those guys, and then they're going to miss the
They're
kick,
gonna suck
and
also.
everyone's
They cut
gonna
them.
scream to cut them.
Cut 'em.
And then you'll bring somebody else in. and
Keep
they're
doing
gonna
it
miss
until
a
a guy
kick.
can make kicks.
I've got an idea.
Well, guess what? You did that. Dustin Hopkins made kicks.
Yeah.
And then he started missing them.
Right? And
the
they
nature
cut
of the
his ass.
game.
I didn't see the kick, but someone told me that on game day, some dude rolls up in like sneaks, jeans, and blasts the 35-yarder. You know how they give away a large sum of money if
The Pat McAfee thing, yeah.
yeah, the Pat McAfee kick. Sign him. What the hell?
Sign that guy.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Let's make it entertaining. If
Gee,
that's
what's
what we're
a-
here for,
This is why we get clowned on national TV.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is why people laugh at you. This is why people make fun of your colors, what you're about, because we are sitting here having feelings for the kicker. You know who I think is a stand-up dude? The 18-year-old kid that is going to Iraq tomorrow. Going to
Yes.
Afghanistan. That's stand-up. Kicking and you missed, sorry, bro, you missed. They don't feel sorry for me. They're not about to offer me no contract. You 41 and you can't walk.
That's right.
They're not offering contracts. Here's what I'm going to say straight up too. You know what, Myles Garrett, I apologize for everybody. Because when you came out and you said that they didn't have no plan and they wasn't trying to do nothing, people jumped on you and made a reverse, oh, you trying to take a dump on the city. No, you was just actually telling the truth. And guess what? They couldn't trade you because, you know what? No one else had the assets. The only thing they could do is say, yeah, Myles, we're going to be trash for a long time. So here's a nice parting gift for you. Because you were absolutely correct. Because we today, when the games start, now it's like, hey, bring them right on back to keep missing games. You think Myles Garrett put that type of work and film out there to dominate a game in one of the greatest offenses in the league, and Joe Burrow, and he's out there putting his body on the line, and the kicker can't put his shoes on right to make a kick? This is wild. I don't understand. Like, to me, I feel like I live in a world where, like, it's straight fantasy football. And the only thing that matters is if we know the front office and the coaches' names and we get to draft fantasy players. It's like a bunch of toy soldiers. It's like the games don't even matter no more. None of this matters. It's like, hey, as long as we got the storylines and we can, go on FanDuel and put a couple dollars down, none of this matters. It's wild. I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, so what do they work out all spring for? You think those dudes go out there, you think Martin Emerson is sitting there crying because he tore his Achilles heels up, and then it's like, the kicker cost us? And then there's no outrage because the kicker cost you?
Oh, there's outrage.
But
There's outrage.
But you said the people in the locker room, they like him.
I talked to players who said that they felt bad for him because he's a good kicker. And he
Hey,
had a
yeah,
bad
but
day.
did you really expect one of them to say this is garbage, man? We busted
Bro,
our tails.
Yes,
He's
because
got
a
to
couple
go.
of them did say
I
that.
want that. I need
On
that.
record?
No.
I need
Of
that.
course not.
And guess what? It should be on record. Like, listen, this is the thing. We done got so watered down, puffed marshmallow, where
Yeah.
we feel like that, like, we being nice to each other means something. I don't care if they're evil to each other. Win these damn football games.
Maybe we need that.
Maybe the coach need to be like, you know what, Cedric Tillman, you dropped the ball. You've been here 4 years. Yeah, see how scout team feels. Maybe you do need to call somebody
Maybe
out
a
in the
veteran
post
leader
game.
needs to come in and tear up the clubhouse.
Because other than this here's what you talk about. Everybody talk about. There's a silver lining. No silver lining. If Myles Garrett or Denzel Ward go out with an injury, you're done. Let's stop making excuses like, oh, we got these young dudes that's gonna do something. You got 2 ball players, 2 on defense, and some young guys. See how them young guys look when you don't got the best corner locking Jamar Chase up and a freak of nature at the defensive line position. We talking about, and guess what? You didn't draft neither one of them. They was gifted to you on a platter. When you got here, you had Chubb, Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Kareem Hunt, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward. Can I keep going? Where's your best players now? Oh, they're the same best players, and they're getting older. And you had a top 5
Batonio.
offensive line. Batonio, and you had a top 5
Teller.
offensive. Stop with the no. 2 players go out, you go getting the ball ran all over you and go talk about, well, the season's over because we don't have Miles. Yeah, I know. We know that. But you did it on purpose because you knew they were not trying to win football.
He did acquire one of their best players, Corey Bjorquez.
That's a good. You see that? You see how he broke the tension?
He's not wrong.
You said broke the tension. That was nice.
He's not wrong.
He
no,
did.
but G, no, you're dead on.
I mean, he's right.
You're dead on.
Yeah.
And that's why one of my first points today was, I don't know how anybody with a straight face can look at Andrew Berry's record of work and say, yeah, he's done a job well enough to stay here.
I gave him JOK. JOK, he picked. JOK was a monster. Unfortunately, the way the NFL works, not for long, he's no longer with us.
Yeah.
That's just the way
I
it
did
goes.
think, we didn't talk, and we'll talk, well, we're going to do the rookie report, so I'll save that.
Yeah, we'll do the rookie report
yeah,
again.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
So, G, you're getting rid of Szymt. Jay, you're getting rid of Szymt. Boy, you're getting rid of
it's a 3 out
Szymt.
of 4.
Jason's the only one
Jason,
keeping
you're
him.
keeping
I
him.
keep him for one more week.
I bet they will keep him.
Yeah,
but
I think they will too.
Gotta save some face, right?
I think they will too, but I think he's.
He might be mentally cooked. He might be. You'll know
See,
next week.
That's the problem with the kickers. He missed the second one because he missed the first one.
Probably.
He did.
30?
I mean, he missed it the same way.
31?
36 and 37, I think. The extra points at 37.
36 was the field goal.
Yeah.
And then 33.
Now,
is the-
in fairness, it was a rough day on kickers yesterday, man. It was a rough day. The Bucks missed an extra
get that,
point
but
that
to-
would have put them up 4.
to Daryl's
then
point
Atlanta's
earlier,
kicker,
Jay.
who's all-pro, misses a gimme.
I
for
said
him.
it already, Mike.
Yeah, no, like it was perfect conditions, and those are chip shots. You just
Yes.
can't miss
Yeah.
those.
So
I understand that.
I talked to Phil probably about 5 years ago and I said, why is kicking so bad today in the NFL? And he said, it's better than it's ever been.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And he said, if you go back and look when he was like Gary Anderson, Morton Anderson, these guys that we look at as legends, they were like 75, 80%. And now we expect 100% every single time. And Phil's like, hey, listen, kicking is better today than it's ever been. These guys are really good. You have to have a little bit of patience. Phil said, if I were starting my career now, I would have been cut my rookie year. They never would have stuck
He
with
didn't
me.
have a good rookie year.
I think he missed 4 kicks his rookie year.
Yeah.
Right.
And his point was, and listen, I'm not saying Andre Schmidt is Phil Dawson. I'm not saying that.
No.
But
You'll never know if he is if you cut him today.
But I'm saying Phil is the one who's saying you've got to have patience with these young kickers, especially early.
But you gotta be smart enough to know which kickers you gotta have patience with and which
How do
ones
you
you
know?
don't.
How could you possibly
Well, shouldn't the
know?
special teams coach know that? Or at least
I
have an
think that's my
indication?
point too. My
Yeah.
point is it's a blind spot for the organization.
It's a blind spot for a lot of organizations.
It is.
And the fact we've talked about this before. The fact that I think the Ravens are the only team that actually has a kicking specialist blows my mind. When
Right.
you look at the number of games that come down to 3 points or less, you can attack the Browns for their lack of investment in the kicking game. That's fair. That's totally fair. Them and a lot of other teams as well. They just don't what does Bubba Ventrone know about kicking field goals?
Nothing.
What does he know?
Nothing. Is there a team in the NFL though that has had the kicking problems that we've had over the last 5 years?
I don't know.
Probably.
There's probably a couple of others. We're not
don't
looking
know.
closely.
I'd like to do a deep dive on it.
Vrabel, when he was his last year with the Titans, started going for 2 because he just hated his kicker. They didn't kick
That's a
field
Mike
goals.
Vrabel thing to do.
Now, the amount of kickers, I started to look this up yesterday. The amount of kickers they've had since Phil retired,
No,
It's crazy.
It's in the double
I don't know
digits.
why we haven't started the kicker jersey. We've got the quarterback jersey with all the names. The
But
kicking
isn't that
jersey's
depressing enough?
You guys are golfers,
Yeah,
right?
but-
Yeah. No.
Well, not you, but
Yeah.
okay. So golfing.
The way you said that, G, was funny.
He's like, yeah, you guys are golfers, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, so you have golfing. You have baseball guys, right?
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Do they not videotape every swing?
Yes.
Of course.
Golf swings, golf coaches.
Yep.
Swing coach.
Swing coaches. Why is there not a specified person videotaping your leg angle, plant foot, every single
I'm sure
rep?
they are, but why don't they have a coach?
That's
Why don't they have a coach to
That's
coach
just
the
the
kicker?
kicking
Yes.
coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every team should do that.
I've been screaming that for years.
analytic. You guys are analytics. You guys got all the money in the world. We got there. How many support staff they got? The Browns might got the most support staff in the game. They got people on top of
They got
people.
staff to support the support staff.
That's it. Yeah, just
And the sport is called football. The leading scorer on most teams is a kicker. Get that right, guys. It's not as hard as you've made it look. I'm
At all.
sorry.
At all.
I know that teams struggle with kickers. I get all that. It should not be this hard.
Now, Are you going to be surprised if Matt Prater misses a game-winning kick next week for Buffalo?
No, I won't.
I'm not.
I won't. He's 41.
Everyone's, oh, look, Buffalo got it right with the 41. Okay, he made a kick, and that's
in week
great.
1, they got it right.
Yeah.
He's not going to be their kicker in week 5.
Everyone was hailing Dustin Hopkins not that long ago.
2 years ago.
We were hailing Cade York after that week 1 56-yard game winner against Carolina.
It's the nature of the fickle position that is kicking, that you look great 1 week or 1 year, and you look
and you know what's so frustrating? Dallas falls into a guy that didn't play high school football, didn't play college football. He kicked soccer balls for a career. He tells his girlfriend, I think I could do this. He goes to a high school field, starts blasting 60-yarders right down the middle, and he goes, yeah, I'm pretty good at this, it turns out. And now the Cowboys, of all teams, have this guy fall in their lap, and he's going to be the best kicker in the NFL for a decade.
It's crazy how it works. Let's get to our next topic, guys. It's brought to us by Upside. Hey, are you still paying for full gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app today in the Google Play or App Store and start earning cash at the pump. Use our promo code TOUCHDOWN right now and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill-up. You can make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it is totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, ePal, or e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using my limited time promo code TOUCHDOWN for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That is promo code TOUCHDOWN. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
By the way, last 4 years, field goal percentage, Browns 32nd, 9th, 31st, 31st.
That's crazy.
Not good enough. Not
There you go.
good enough.
Yeah.
All right, guys, the other main talking point coming out of yesterday's loss were the 2 interceptions that Joe Flacco threw. I think we could all agree that neither were directly on Joe, hit receivers in the hands, and then led to some pretty impressive plays by Cincinnati to turn those drops and bobbles into interceptions. But when you look at those 2 picks, how much blame do you put on the receivers? How much blame do you put on just unfortunate luck or bad luck? And then how much credit do you give Cincinnati for actually capitalizing on those opportunities?
Obviously these guys are going to disagree. I think it was bad luck for the Browns at the ball, like the balls pop in the air. Yes, I get you can criticize them for not catching the ball. You know, in what's his name? His case, not Judy.
Tillman.
What was that?
Tillman.
Cedric Tillman's case. Like, he's diving on the ground for the ball. Well, I guess they both were. And the ball pops up. It was nice plays by the defenders. There was some bad luck. Certainly there's no blame on either of those on Flacco to me. But I don't know. Tell me why, G. I really want to hear from you. Why you think it's so egregiously the wide receiver's fault, as opposed to, like, the guy's trying to make a play, the ball pops up in the air. It's unfortunate luck.
I'm going to give you.
Go ahead.
I'm going to give you the rationale. When we sit in these locker rooms and when you go in the film, he's going to get 2 dings for this. One, he's going to get a ding because the ball hit him in the hands. He didn't catch it. Then he's going to get another ding because it was a turnover-worthy play, because the ball hit you in the hand. Most interceptions are caused by tip footballs, balls in the air, or overthrows. When a quarterback overthrows somebody and it's incomplete, guess what? They get a ding for that because that's a turnover-worthy play.
Yeah.
What I'm sitting here telling you is, hey, if I could watch Ohio State and I'm watching South Carolina and I'm watching Clemson and it's big-time football, and those players are not expected to miss those plays. Once you get to the professional level, you are a pro. That means you do it for a living. If you call a pro to your house, you expect them to put the roof on correctly. I don't want to call you back out here in the winter and say, you know, it was just a mistake. We left the hammer in there and there's a hole. Guess what? Mistakes cost you money, points, and your job. At the end of the day, when you are a surgeon, right? When you're a surgeon, every time you go in there, you want to save somebody, but you better be on point. Ain't no I forgot the scalpel inside somebody's stomach. That don't work for people. Cedric Tillman is a 4-year pro. He's been up and down. I could go back to another game where Cedric Tillman dropped another football on 4th down from Joe Flacco going back to that season. Maybe you could find the game, McNuggets, and Cedric Tillman dropped one of those footballs.
It was not Joe Flacco, though. It was Deshaun Watson. It was against the Giants last year where it hit him between the 1 and the 9.
Yeah, let me ask you this. That was a nice play on the touchdown. It was a nice throw by Joe.
It was nice.
It was a nice grab by Tillman. Would you say there was more good than bad from Tillman in this game, or no?
Listen, more good than bad, 50-50, does not make you a pro.
Yeah, our kicker made 2 kicks, too.
I
don't care.
So what I'm explaining to everyone, there is 1 or 2 plays in a game that separates professional teams. If you consistently don't make those 1 or 2 plays, you're losers. You don't say we almost did it. When you get a chance to make a play, you have to make it. And Joe Flacco, the throw he made right there, that throw, he threw it with anticipation.
The Bengals missed a lot of plays in the second half. Are they losers?
Losers give the game away.
Well, I mean, good teams give away. Did the Ravens give the game away? Did they not?
Listen, I can give you epic giveaways.
Yeah.
The Browns gave a game away against the Jets. That was even worse than this.
I hear you. Listen, ultimately, yes, there's some blame on the wide receivers on those plays.
You had to catch the ball.
I hear you, but I don't think you throw everything out because of that play.
Oh, no, here's what the coaches are telling you.
Yeah.
You don't get it was okay, cool when you lose. I want people to understand. There's a difference between us covering it and a difference between being there. When you're sitting in that room and they watching that film, no one's telling, hey, it's okay, get him next time, Tiger. That don't happen.
That's not what I'm saying, though. I'm saying it doesn't have to be 100 or 0.
Yes, it does. It's a make or miss league.
Okay, but good players miss sometimes.
He's not a good player.
I'm not saying he's a good player.
Cedric Tillman has missed preseason games. He's missed postseason games. He's shown some promise. This is not the first time. Joe, when he was playing with Joe Flacco the first time, Joe was yelling at him, hey, listen, man, you got to be here, over here, doing this, doing that. Listen, the thing is, do we want the participation trophies or do we want to win?
No, that's not fair. I'm not saying that.
I'm going to take G's side on this.
I'm not saying participation trophies.
I do agree with Bull. There is some nuance to this. But my point, I think, is a bigger point, and here it is. It goes back to the culture. What is the culture of the football team? And G, just hear me out for a second, because I'm going to actually use you as an example. There was a culture and a level of expectations when you played at Canton McKinley.
Yep.
Why? You guys were national champs.
Yep.
We got no room in this team for guys who aren't making plays. And then you went to OU and you guys rode the loss train.
1-10.
Compare the culture in OU's locker room. Hey man, we'll get him next time, Tiger. Good job. Let's go. Hey, we were close. That's one culture. The other culture is Canton McKinley, where one guy makes a mistake. One guy drops a ball and it goes into the defender's hands, and that costs the teams the game. There is accountability for that player inside the clubhouse. I will say, when I watch the Ravens, I always go back to the old Ravens with Ray Lewis, because Ray Lewis, to me, was the ultimate leader. Everybody on that football team knew that we got to be our best on every single play, because any given play can cost us the game. That's a culture. That's a mindset. I've seen other teams in the NFL that have had that culture.
Yeah, but does the winning build the culture, or does the culture build the winning?
That's a great question.
The quarterback builds both.
Yeah, it does, but in the Ravens' case, it came from a defensive player.
Yeah.
It is a great question, because it's a chicken or an egg question, right? But I've seen in Detroit where Dan Campbell came in and they were on the losing train, and Dan Campbell came in, you know what he did? Guys, it's a new day. We're not playing that stuff anymore. We're not the old Detroit Lions. We're the new Detroit Lions. We're going to turn a page. And he is a strong, forceful personality. He's the antithesis of Kevin Stefanski. That guy came in there and whipped up a new culture immediately. Boom. So I do think, in most cases, I think the winning leads and the culture follows.
Yes.
But there are examples that I've seen where a guy can come in, click his fingers, and the temperature in the room changes dramatically and immediately. And so we're not talking about one play. We're talking about 2 missed kicks. And to your point, it wasn't all bad. They caught some of them. Well, he made 2 kicks too, but he missed 2 kicks that would have won the game for them. Yes, Tillman made some plays. Of course, Fannin made some great plays. I bet Fannin is beating himself up today.
Yeah.
Because he knows what that drop meant. On the interceptions, to answer Mike's original question, 80% of that is on the receivers. These weren't uncatchable balls. When a quarterback lets the ball out of his hand, he has to make sure one thing. If it's going to be caught, it's only going to be caught by my guy. Now, a lot of the interceptions, you can't say that about. On both of those interceptions, Joe Flacco put both of them in spots where they could not be caught by the defender, if not for an assist from the receiver. Tipping the ball up into their hands. It was a 10% good play, 10% just dumb luck.
You know, the Harold Fannin drop, though, first of all, that wasn't an interception. That obviously was just a drop. That was on Joe. That was not a good enough throw.
It was a low throw.
I'll hear that.
That's
Joe.
a really tough play.
It's a low throw.
Bull, I'll hear that.
At the end of the game,
Fannin will tell you he should have caught it, though.
Fine, and that's good. And I want him to have that attitude. But there's no way you could not feel anything but good about Harold Fannin after that first game. Whatever you feel about anybody else,
it's pretty clear he's going to be a huge part of this.
That was unbelievable. I mean, to make an impression like that as a rookie tight end, you know, we've gotten a little jaded or used to some guys breaking out as tight ends early in recent years. It's happened, but it's pretty uncommon in the grand scheme of tight end history.
Well, there've been some
for guys to be impactful right away.
There've been some high-profile tight ends come into the league with huge expectations
and do nothing. But this guy, I mean, look at this game he had in his first game.
And he's only going to get better.
This is also the perfect head coach for a tight end. If you're playing tight end, you want to play for Kevin Stefanski because they're going to feature the tight ends. But nobody else is like broke out like that in his first game with the team. They signed what's his name, that schlep from the Falcons. He sucked.
Terrible.
Austin Hooper.
Yeah.
3-yard catch and fall down.
Can I bring up one thing real quick, and then we can get on? Because we're going to do the rookies next. We're going to talk about all the rookies' performance. The worst drop of yesterday was not the Fannin drop.
Nope.
Was not the Judy drop that turned into an interception.
I know what you're
Was
going.
not the Cedric Tillman drop that turned into the interception. It was the fourth and 5 play.
Absolutely.
Where Jerry Jeudy got wide open. Flacco threw a perfect ball, hit him, I would say between the numbers, but he was
that was a perfect
digit.
throw.
It hit him on the 3. There's no excuse for that.
None.
And of all the drops yesterday, and obviously the 2 that lead to interceptions are the ones we'll remember the most because of the impact on the game. The Browns were down 1 point in plus territory, had a perfect 4th and 5 call. Flacco delivered, the line blocked, and their number 1 playmaker on offense dropped the ball in his hands.
They had a half a dozen plays that were absolutely makeable that weren't made that cost them the football game. And that's why I go back to culture. There's no fear of letting your teammates down. There's no, when I watch those Ravens teams and I listened to those interviews and I covered some of those games, there was one theme. We do it for each other. We play for each other. And I just don't feel that that's the case here. I don't know how we get to that point.
I don't know.
I wish Myles Garrett would take a pill and turn him into the Incredible Hulk inside and just start wrecking shop with this team.
It's pretty hard to compare teams to those Ravens. I mean, that's not a fair comparison.
Obviously, that's an outlier. But that was an example of a team where guys always played above their ability for fear of being the one guy that let the whole unit down. So we had 6 guys yesterday that were in position to make plays that if they make the plays, we win the game, and they let us down.
Let me give you an example. This is a real-world example. Maybe this is a little better, right? So there's standards, right? And sometimes when you don't have standards and you're not expected to do anything. At once upon a time, we was just a regular show, right? Nobody expected nothing, but there was different metrics we had to hit. Now, what happens if they're like, those metrics, we don't need that. So instead of doing a 2-hour show, we're going to cut it to 1.5 some days. Overtime, I know we sell memberships, but we're not going to do overtime. You know what? We're supposed to clip up a certain amount of views and clips, right? Yeah, we tell them so-and-so going to be on Tuesday and Thursday, but then they don't be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. What starts to happen is after you do that for a long period of time, you start to think, well, we're doing this just out the kindness of your heart. Or this is extra when that is supposed to be the standard. That is supposed to be what you are giving them. That's what we are mandated for. So when you telling Jerry Jeudy, this is a soft rebuild, or we trying to find our quarterback next year. How many games do we think they're gonna win? When you ain't got them standards and expectation and the ball hits you on the side of your chest and you wide open, and you could put a nail in the coffin to win this football game, how hurt are you? How many helmets did I see you throw? You got to be beside yourself. But guess what? It ain't beside yourself. It's on to the next week. We got Baltimore next week, a tough division. You know what? That permeates because at the back of their mind, he's saying, well, I'm the best receiver we got. So what's the alternative?
Jason, what did you think about those plays?
Complacency kills, G. Complacency kills.
I thought the Jeudy drops were a lot worse than the Tillman drop was bad too, of course. It leads to an interception. Jerry Jeudy's supposed to be number one receiver on this team. He's being paid like the number one receiver. And with that, it comes a higher level of responsibility. Cedric Tillman, I kind of look at this as like, okay, if this is a good team, right? This is not a good team. This is not a good offense. They lack playmakers. We saw that in the backfield. We see that at receiver. They have a 40-year-old quarterback and 2 rookies backing them up. We knew this was a bad offense last year, and they'd spent their top 2 picks on defensive players. Keep saying that. What does that tell you? They know it's a bad offense.
Well, that's culture.
But
that's a culture.
So like, let's pretend that like they put this thing together, okay? In 2 and 3 years from now, they are a competent football team. Move the ball down the field, they can score. Is Jerry Jeudy number one receiver on a top AFC team in the East, or on a top AFC team?
No.
He's probably number 2 receiver.
Well, I mean, it depends on who the quarterback is. The Bills don't have a quarterback better than Jerry Jeudy. A wide receiver better than Jerry Jeudy.
So ideally, you think Jerry Jeudy's good enough to be a number one receiver on a championship team?
Not ideally. Ideally number 2. But I'm saying he can be a number 1 and you could win a championship.
I don't want Jerry Jeudy to be a number 1 receiver on a team I'm trying to win.
He led the league in drops last year. He's going to lead the league in drops.
I mean, again, to this point, he's better than any receiver the Ravens have. He's better than any receiver the Bills have. And those are 2 Super Bowl.
You think he's better than Zay Flowers?
Zay Flowers. You take him over Zay Flowers?
Well, he's been better so far.
Oh, my God. There's a chance.
Is that not a fact?
Take him over Zay Flowers. No way.
Is that not a fact, Mike?
No way.
I'm looking up Zay's numbers.
No
I mean, Zay's
way.
only his second year, so.
Right.
And he's bigger and looked more explosive.
No, Zay's not bigger. Zay's small. Zay's 5'9".
Yeah, he gained 10 pounds from last year. I'm talking about bigger than what he was last year.
What did Zay Flowers do last year?
Zay Flowers added 10 pounds.
So this is Zay Flowers' 3rd year.
Yeah, it's his 3rd year.
Last year he had 1,059 yards and 4 touchdowns. The year before, as a rookie, he had 900 yards, 5 touchdowns.
So Jerry Jeudy's been better to this point with worse quarterback. So a much worse quarterback. So I don't know how you can say. Now, you want to say you'd rather take Zay Flowers because he's 2 years younger? Okay, all right, I can live with that. I'm saying right now Jerry Jeudy's better than Zay Flowers. He's certainly better than any of the receivers on Buffalo. And those are the 2 biggest teams.
By the way, you're proving my point.
And I haven't been a big Jerry Jeudy guy, as you know, Mike. So let's not get carried away.
We're proving my point. We're sitting here comparing Zay Flowers to Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, Jerry Jeudy's a little better, but that's the point.
Yeah.
Is Jerry Jeudy locked all the way in? Like, oh, I missed the pass. He's
got to catch it.
No, he's like,
he's got to make the plays.
Like,
he didn't have a good enough game yesterday. I'm not arguing that.
You can only ask guys to do what they're capable of doing. And Cedric Tillman actually showed me maybe he's capable of more. But at the same time, again, on a championship team, are you counting on Cedric Tillman to be one of your top targets? I'm not. No.
Listen.
He's the number, on a great team?
He could be a number 3.
At best, he's a 3.
I don't know.
By the way, with the kickers, I always say
we don't know yet about him, but I would say he's a 3 probably.
Cedric Tillman didn't leave the draft and send a letter to the Cleveland Browns to say, hey, pick me. They chose him.
Right.
So if he's not a number 3 receiver on a good team, what does that say about the people who picked him?
Well,
I think he could be a number 3 receiver on a good team. Why
I said
not?
at best. At best, he's a number 3 receiver.
So you got a bunch of 3s. Bunch of 3s don't win.
I think you got 2s and 3s right now. Yeah.
Well, G, our next topic.
I said wide receivers needed.
I think Judy's a 2.
G, where we're going next is based on a couple guys this regime took. It's brought to us by Game Time. The NFL is back, and honestly, there's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be a hassle between waiting times, login screens, and prices jumping at checkout. It's frustrating, but that's why I use Game Time, the app that gives you the advantage back to the fans. Game Time is fast, easy, and backed by the Game Time guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best prices, plus all the fees are included. So the price you see is the price you actually pay. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that's promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. We're going to do this every week of the NFL season. We're going to call it something simple. It's just called the Rookie Report. The Browns have 4 rookies that played significant snaps in their Week 1 loss to Cincinnati. So let's go around the horn, and Bull, we'll start with you. Jason, actually, we'll start with you on Mason Graham because you were there and saw some of the stuff that maybe we weren't able to witness via the TV broadcast. What'd you make of Mason Graham's debut against the Bengals? Then we'll go to Schlesinger, Fannin, and Sampson. We'll start with Mason Graham.
How often are you actually watching him on a play, though?
Yesterday I watched him just because I wanted to see.
Yeah.
So I watched him a fair amount. I talked to Tyvis about this at halftime too, and Tyvis thought the same thing. He got pushed early. He got kind of beat up on that first drive, probably just an acclimation period to playing in the NFL. But by the second half and by the fourth quarter, I thought he was tremendous, and he was every bit as good as Isaiah McGuire and anyone else. I'm not going to play on Myles Garrett's class, but as anyone else who was out there. But that stop, the drive when they pushed Cincinnati back from the 20 to the goal line was the biggest show of force that you could possibly. That was all the defensive line. And yes, Myles gets credit for a ton of that. He got 2 of the sacks on that. But the third down play when they just collapsed on Joe, that was all 4 of them. And that was actually, I thought, and Zach actually pointed this out in the press box, that was a terrific play by Burrow. It may have saved the game for Cincinnati.
It did.
When he was able to leap out of the end zone.
The safety there's the difference.
It could have been, we don't know how the rest of the game
right,
plays
we don't.
out.
But it was big that he got out.
The awareness of him to realize where he was and where he needed to be, and to be able to leapfrog and jump forward enough to get out of the end zone. But we talked all summer about, can the defensive line be the strength of this team? That drive showed you, yes, that it can be. That was the most impressive moment, and I put Mason Graham as part of the reason for that.
Yeah, but G is right ultimately. 90% of that was Myles Garrett.
Of course, yes, but again, go
without
back.
Myles Garrett, the Browns' defensive line is not any good. Let's face it. Let's keep it real.
I'm not
ready to
go that far.
it's not any good. I'm not going that far.
Any good?
Not any good.
Yeah, I'm not going that far.
No, I'm
yet.
not going that far.
It's not
elite.
You, Jay.
It's not elite.
And Bull, that's a fair question because normally I don't really look at the interior of the defensive line.
Yeah.
But he's a rookie, and I was actually going back and looking at plays, just watching him. So after the play was over, I want to go back and I just want to isolate on him. I thought early on he looked overwhelmed. He looked like the stage was too big for him. It often happens with rookies. I would have given him a C- in the first half. In the second half, I give him an A-. In the second half, and I can't wait to hear your grades because obviously you know what's supposed to be happening at those positions, and I don't. I just thought as much as he looked like he was getting moved and pushed around in the first half, I thought he was doing the moving in the second half. And I'm really excited about what this kid's future is.
That drive should have been the turning point of the game.
It should have been.
Until that point, the Bengals' offensive line was doing good.
They're doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the game just totally turned from there.
Are you agreeing with that?
Yeah, so I think it was a tale of two cities, tale of two halves. I thought the first half, where Mason Graham is going to struggle is, so he played heavier at Michigan. The reason he's playing heavier is because he was taking on a lot more, double teams and trying to two-gap different things, right? When you look at him in Michigan, he's always going to be engaged with a guard or a tackle, and where he really excelled is the fact that he's just really lightning quick. But as you can see, there's not much penetration in this film. It's side to side. You see everything is laterally, right? 2 steps, let me get under here. Here in Jim Schwartz's defense, he's asked to be a penetrator and a upfield pass rush threat, right? But that are 2 different skill sets. So Mason Graham, the first half, I thought what you saw was Cincinnati was like, they came out running the football. I don't think the Browns thought that they was going to come out here with Brown and run the football.
And ran it well.
Yeah.
Ran it right at him.
And I don't think that the game plan, Jim Schwartz thought that was the game plan, and they were coming out hitting him, and he's lost some weight, and I think he struggled getting off blocks when people get hands on him. I think at this weight and the size that he's at, if you go look at him, he, as a defensive tackle, you notice he's not a huge, hulking, massive. He's not cut up. He's not
Dexter Lawrence.
He ain't huge. No, he's not that. So when you get hands on him, you can get movement on him. Now, second half, the Cincinnati Bengals started to throw the ball a little more. I thought he got more comfortable. Now, instead of you can't really double team him like that, he was getting penetration. His best asset is being quick, penetration. His lateral movement is great. The problem is they don't move him laterally like that in this defense. You got to go straight. So, to me, I thought he got more get off, and I thought the fact that Myles Garrett and the defensive end, Isaiah McGuire, I thought he did a really nice job too. They were able to kind of collapse the pocket a little bit, and now he was getting force up the middle. He was getting a nice little push up the middle. The play that he missed the tackle in the backfield, that wasn't his. That really wasn't. I don't count that. He was on one knee. He just basically beat the guard, got in the hole, and he was trying to go out and make a play. I don't count that against him. He made a nice play that it was in the second half. He kind of engaged, got off the block, got a tackle. It was a 2-yard gain, but that's what you want for defense linemen. If you get a 2-yard tackle and the linebacker don't get, that means you did a pretty good job. I think he did a really nice job more in the second half than whether in the first half. But my question is, our team's going to see that and say, okay, well, we saw what he did second half. Let's see how he goes and fits up with this run play and with these runs. But I think he played much better. If I had to give him a grade, I would give him, some of the run fits in the run game, I would give him a C-. If I was really looking, I could be like, oh, you got the D+ on this. You get moved out the way. They get a lot of movement. Second half, I think I gave him a B+. I think a B+ was good. And I think what they might start doing is moving Malik Collins in, that if he's going to be more of a run stopper with the girth, and then move him wide out past the 3 to maybe a 4-eye.
I'd like to see that.
Kick him out to a 4-eye. Now he ain't got to deal with all this. Use his speed, lateral ability. He don't got to deal with the double teams like that. So you saw Shelby Harris rotating a little bit more in on some of the run plays too. So I think Jim Schwartz will get him in a nice little fix, but he'll be all right. He'll be all right as long as they keep getting that pressure from outside. He'll be a solid player. The problem is, and I won't even say it's a problem, some people are going to look at it and say, but that's your 5th pick. And you can afford to do that if you got a stud on the outside. But
what's the learning curve at that position? For quarterback, they always say year 3 is they see the biggest improvement from 2 to 3. What is it at that position?
Well, at that position as a defensive lineman, it's very rare that, especially at defensive tackles, you're not getting sacks anyway. Right. That's why when people talk about, you were yelling and screaming about Mason Graham, I said, I'm not yelling and screaming about Mason Graham. I'm yelling and screaming about the value of the position. When you draft a guy that high, you're looking for a lot of production.
He needs to be a force.
He needs to be a Warren Sapp, a Cortez Kennedy. He needs to be
Aaron Donald.
That at D tackle, that's what you're looking for. What's the other kid you just named?
Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence.
Special players.
But yeah. I think his learning curve is, I would like to see him put a little bit more of that man weight on, right?
The muscle.
Right now, he's a man, but what he's going to want to do is he's going to want to get the baby fat off of him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's going to want to lean out, get under a certain body weight. You know how so J.J. Watt was 300. J.J. Watt was a different 300 than that 300. You see what I'm saying? That J.J. Watt is 300 is different.
I got to tell you, from my perspective, let me give you my perspective on something as a Bengals fan for a second. And that's, I've watched Myles Garrett play every game of his career. Mm-hmm. And I've watched the Browns often play well against the Bengals. But I think yesterday, it just summed up. I used to say, I don't understand why the Bengals don't play well against the Browns. They play worse against the Browns than every other team. And it should have been so obvious, but it's completely obvious why the Browns play better against the Bengals why they defend the Bengals better than any other team does. I mean, any other team in Joe Burrow's career. And it has nothing to do with Kevin Stefanski. It has this Kevin Stefanski, Zach Taylor thing is nonsense. It has nothing to do with Jim Schwartz. It has nothing to do with quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, defensive backs, linebackers, or defensive tackles. It has to do with one player. It's really that simple. Myles Garrett is the reason why the Browns play better against the Bengals. And Myles Garrett, again, solidified for me personally. Anybody else can believe whatever they want. For all the mini criticisms I've had over the years on Myles Garrett, and they've been few and very minimal, the Bengals offense in the first half looked pretty normal. I mean, they scored 2 touchdowns in 3 possessions. Mm-hmm. And I thought they were on their way, honestly. I thought the Bengals were going to score 28, 35 points. I thought they were going to have...
After that first drive, I was with you.
Yeah, and then the second drive they stopped, and the third drive they went right down the field again and scored.
And that was it.
But Myles Garrett on that first drive of the second half said, that's it. That's it. That drive was all him, and the Bengals played scared football the rest of the game. They played scared football. Yeah, certainly Denzel Ward plays a role, and Denzel, we talked about it before, does a great job on Chase. And give Greg Newsome credit. I thought he played the best game. I thought the best game I've ever seen him play.
Greg.
Absolutely.
I thought he was fantastic. I'm not saying nobody gets credit at all. I don't want to. But Myles Garrett, 90%. It was him just saying, that's it. I've taken over this game. Goodbye.
That hit.
And it should have been all about that. If it, but
that hit, we call it running the international highway. They call that texting in stunt. Myles Garrett take 2 steps up. Defensive tackle flashes out. Now Myles Garrett gets a full head of steam coming from the C gap all the way to the A gap. And he comes and
that was unbelievable.
He comes and lays that hit on Joe Burrow. And you can see Joe Burrow. And by the way, Myles Garrett has gotten better at where his body is and not getting penalties, because that usually ends up in a helmet to helmet under the chin, 15-yard. He got all shoulder. And Joe Burrow was laying folded up. I said, oh, yeah, this going to be, this
killed that man.
He almost
TJ Watt has never done these things to Joe Burrow. Nobody else has. It's only Myles Garrett.
That's Superman.
It's only Myles Garrett, and he is 90% of the reason why, in my opinion, why the Browns, even though the Bengals have won 5 of the last 6, but their offense still hasn't looked sharp in a lot of these games.
They're wasting his best years.
Who?
The Browns.
Yeah.
Oh, the Browns are. Yeah,
like they did Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas has got the gold jacket.
It's unbelievable.
He's going to have the gold. Denzel's going to get a gold jacket, and we had all 3 of these players for a minute together.
Yeah.
And
I thought
that's usually how you win.
Maybe this next crew.
I hate to say this, but I think if how many career sacks does Myles Garrett have right now?
104, I think.
After yesterday, I believe 104. I'll confirm.
104. If he had been a Steeler, like if you had flip-flopped him and TJ Watt, I bet you'd have 130 sacks right now.
104 and a half. 104 and a half.
There is no reasonable person that could think TJ Watt is better than Myles Garrett.
Oh, he's just not.
No chance.
He just can't do. There's a lot of things he can't do that Myles does routinely.
TJ Watt wins a lot on all heart and instinct.
Oh, he's a great player. I'm not saying he's not great.
That's how he wins.
Myles Garrett's just another level.
He's just, because for whatever he has in heart and instincts, Myles Garrett got the cheat code because genetically. Did you see how Joe Burrow decided to pull it and run? Now, Joe Burrow can move. He's sneaky fast.
He doesn't get caught from behind very often.
Myles Garrett,
twice from behind.
Superman.
That one play, I think if he had gotten past Garrett, he would have gotten a first down.
Yeah.
He would have gotten a first down had he not taken it. And Joe he's sneaky athletic, Joe. Yeah, he does not get caught from behind very often. Myles Garrett did it twice.
Look at that. Look at that.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
I put that on my wall.
Here's my fear, though. We talked about this on Friday.
Woo.
He had 100% motor running, high effort, home, season opener, divisional game. What becomes of him when they're 1-7?
Hey, listen.
Guys get worn. When you got no help, guys get worn down. Hopefully there's enough help this year that it doesn't happen.
1-7? Hey, listen. Hey, listen, fella. Big fella, you gave me all you can give me, man. You know what I'm saying? It's 1-7. I understand, big dog.
So that was Mason Graham. Let's keep it rolling with the Browns' second pick, and that is Carson Schlesinger.
Okay.
Bull, I'll let you start with this one because you and I talked yesterday, and you were quite impressed.
It was so funny. At halftime, Aaron and I were watching the game, and I said, I haven't heard Carson Schlesinger's name.
I said the same
thing. He didn't do anything in the first half. Where is this guy? And the second half, when Myles Garrett wasn't making a play, Carson Schlesinger. Felt like he made it. I don't know if all tackles were in the. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. Seemed like he was involved on every play in the second half.
Yeah.
Just like Mason Graham got better. I thought Schlesinger was great in the second half. Yeah. I was really impressed by how he played. And you hear the guys, you heard Greg Newsome talk about him after the game. Somebody else, I can't remember, one of the other players, I can't draw a blank on who it was, talked to him. And they were like, yeah, this guy's going to be a Pro Bowler. Like, this guy's going to be a special player.
Yeah.
G, you see it too?
Yeah, listen, I tell you what, you know me, for all those people that be watching, see, I'm not no hater. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no hater. When I get more information, you think I'm standing on, nah, Nobody knew about Carson Schlesinger. And I was hot when they drafted him. I'm saying, Carson who? Well, come to find out, the world didn't know about him. His coaches didn't even start him halfway his senior year. You know how good you got to be to get drafted in the second round and you didn't even play the first few games of your senior year and you was a walk-on. But listen, he is a late bloomer, and let me tell you something. The play that signifies what he's talking about is, I think it was a third down, and somebody came over the middle. It might have been Brown. Was it Chase Brown? They threw him a little slant pass.
Yes, it was Brown.
And they threw the pass to him, and he said, "Oh, he saw Carson Schwarzenegger coming."
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, I'm cool on that." He had a couple of plays where he hit somebody, stood him straight up. Yeah, we said it before. I said, yeah, he's going to be one of them dudes where when you look up, it'll be week 15 and be like, guess who's in the top 5 in tackles in the league? Carson Schwarzenegger. What's unique about him is he's a 3-down linebacker.
Yeah, you love that.
He's a 3. You can't find 3. If you can get you a thumper and a guy that's going to play first and second down, but to find a guy that can take that transition, run sideline to sideline, and still be able to get in deep drops and coverage, he going to be one of them dudes. So listen, I said, hey, I was upset when they drafted him. Boy, was I wrong on that one, and I'm glad I was, because now you got you a linebacker. Right?
Andrew Berry bad at everything, but elite at picking middle linebackers.
Apparently, Andrew Berry was an undersized linebacker in college.
Yeah, right.
He was playing the bandit position at 142.
Schwarzenegger's not undersized, though. And Jason, you pointed this out. He's a big dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's not – I know he plays in the same JOK mold, but he's anything. But he's listed at 6'3", 240. Like – he's not
he's not little. He's saying Andrew Berry was undersized.
Andrew Berry would have been undersized.
No, Andrew.
Sorry.
Oh, you done messed. That was cold. I was going to tell Earl to clip that. You know what I'm saying?
Jason, what did you think of Schlesinger yesterday?
Everything we thought he was going to be.
Yep.
We've said all summer that he's plays with his hair on fire and fans are going to love him, and I think you saw that. I called him a demon in thigh pads. He was all over the place, particularly in the second half. That's who he is. That's only going to continue. There's reason to believe that this defense is real. And yes, of course, Myles Garrett is a big part of it. Yes, obviously. But Mason Graham, Carson Schwarzenegger, I thought Isaiah McGuire flashed a little bit yesterday. We still need to see more from Alex Wright. But the pieces are there. The defense, I think, Bo, you and I both said it. This is, would I call this a championship defense? No, not right now. But they're going to be good enough to keep them competitive and keep them in games.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That's exactly what happened.
Especially because when they had a really good defense 2 years ago, they had one player playing at an elite level on all 3 levels of the defense. And if Schlesinger can play at that elite level, that's a lot to ask for a rookie, but I thought it was very promising what he did in game 1. When you have one player, at least one on each level, that could play at a superstar level, an all-pro level, it gives you a chance to have a really good defense.
I agree.
Yeah, which obviously is going to keep him in more games than maybe we thought.
Yep, I agree. He's going to lead the team in tackles. He's going to be top 10 in the league in tackles. He is a perfect example of a guy that you can poke and prod and measure and all of that stuff, but you can't measure heart and desire and effort. And he's 100 in all 3. And that's why he may not have the talent of some of these all-time great linebackers. But at that position, you have to play with your hair on fire. You have to have a nose for the football. You have to want to get in there on every play. And he has that. I think we're going to be applauding this draft pick for the next decade. Hopefully he stays healthy. I love his effort. I love his attitude. I love his heart. Everything about this kid, he's a winner.
I think he's got a ton of talent. I just think it took a while, as G said, I think it took a while to develop.
UCLA looked at him, and they made the mistake of saying, he doesn't jump off the page at you
right.
when you look at him.
Walk-on. Everybody missed on him.
And then some of these guys just have so much heart and effort. You watch them go, and they're like, oh, my God, we can't keep this guy off the field.
It's not even the teams missed on him necessarily. He just bloomed.
Didn't get a chance.
He bloomed when he bloomed.
Yeah.
And not everybody goes at the same time.
Can I say this? Is this Duke a knee jerk? I throw it out there, man. Man, he remind me of Carson Matthews, bro.
I was going to say he reminds me of Clay Matthews.
He got a little Matthews in him. Like, it's kind of, I don't want to say it because they say you stereotyping. He got the blonde hair, but when it's Clay Matthews.
There are characteristics of his game.
At USC, was he not a walk-on?
Gee, we're already using...
Or he was not starting.
We're already using all the white guy stereotypes with him anyway, so we might as well compare him to a white linebacker.
But I was going to say that, and I know the long hair and the West Coast and all that.
Right.
To me, how he's all over the field. I don't care if the ball goes left or right. That's what Clay did. Clay found the football, and this kid finds the football.
Yeah. Let's get to the next rookie. Jay, start us off. Harold Fandon. I know we talked about him a little earlier,
What
but
can you say?
Another really good performance from a rookie.
What can you say? Exactly what I thought he was going to be. Going all the way back to, what did we want to see happen on draft day? I said I want to see Harold Fandon drafted by the Browns somewhere in the first 3 rounds. I watched him probably 8 or 9 full games last year, being a Bowling Green alum. I watched him every chance I could. I watched him very closely against Penn State and Texas A&M in back-to-back weeks, make both of their defenses look like they weren't there. If he didn't go over 100 in both games, he was close. He led all of college football in receptions and yards. This is who I thought he would be. He did not disappoint. And I'm going to tell you this. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This kid has the potential to be one of those 3 or 4 tight ends that everybody knows. I'm not going to throw out any names. We all know who they are.
Gates.
He has the ability to be a take over the game tight end. And there have been times I've been excited about Njoku, but to me, he's going to put up Ozzie Newsome type numbers.
Damn.
I know.
Wow, you're going Hall of Famer after one game.
Now
We got Clay Matthews Jr.
Yeah.
We got Ozzie.
That Kool-Aid is
Clip
alive
this.
and well.
Clip it.
Got the E&J.
Clip it. I didn't feel comfortable going all the way Clay Matthews
You did?
on Schlesinger.
But you went all the way.
Yes, I did. And you know what? Clip this, because I'm
don't
telling
worry.
you, he is going to be a perennial Pro Bowler. He is going to be a difference maker in this offense.
I hope you're
Joe
right.
Flacco loves him some tight ends.
He does.
And you know who he loved more yesterday? Who got more attention?
Fan.
And that speaks volumes to me, because the relationship and the chemistry that he had in his first go-round with the Browns with Njoku was unbelievable.
I will be curious to see going forward if he gets as many targets. I think the Bengals probably weren't sure. It's week 1. It's a rookie.
They were by halftime.
But I just think in week 1, it's a feel out. Everybody knows week 1 in the NFL, weird things can happen. I'm not disputing what you're saying. Maybe I am a little bit. I don't know about Ozzie. But I just want to see moving forward. Now that teams have tape of him, and now that teams understand how the Browns are going to deploy him, we'll see if he's as open.
Well, where are all those targets going to go? Like, it's not like they have a million other options.
They got to throw to somebody.
So what Harold Fandon did in that game was eye-popping.
Yeah.
I thought all the rookies played well, but I thought he was the best of the bunch. I gave him an A+ for his performance.
I agree.
Again, it's not common for a tight end in his first NFL game to have a good game, and he did. I mean, that was so impressive to catch 7 to 9 passes. The one drop was a tough play. I know it didn't go anywhere, but they had him in the backfield running the Wildcat. The things you can do with this guy, you can split him out, you can put him in, you can put him in the backfield. I mean, what a talent. Maybe he's going to be Ozzie Newsome. Who the hell knows? After watching him one game, how the hell did he drop so far in the draft? I don't understand.
Here's the other thing, too. The reason why I say that.
Yeah.
When you go back and you look at Ozzie Newsome's career number, his individual numbers, the tight end was a different position then.
Sure.
He and Kellen Winslow were the guys that they ushered in a new era.
Nobody threw to the tight end.
Go back to Mike Ditka played tight end, and Mike Ditka was a pass-catching tight end. But as the game evolved, they started using tight ends more and more and more. In Ozzie Newsome's era, if Ozzie Newsome played today, he'd beat Travis Kelce. He'd be even more than Travis Kelce. Ozzie Newsome never had 90 catches in a season.
Right, yeah. It was a different era.
I know, and the way we use tight ends today, all he has to do is catch 6 balls a game, and he breaks Ozzie Newsome's. Ozzie, I think, had 89 receptions twice. That's doable in today's game with the tight end. Now, the thing that you can't predict is longevity, health.
Right.
What I'm saying is from a skill set, and I try not to make these comparisons because I almost shut you down on Clay Matthews, even though I thought the same thing. But I had mentioned before the game, I had mentioned to some folks that I have like Ozzie Newsome type expectations out of this kid. That's how good I think he's going to be. And I'm telling you, He is only going to get better.
It seems like a lot of teams missed the boat with him because he did not look like a rookie at all. I mean, he was so impressive
He
out
went
there.
where he was projected. Like,
Yeah.
Dane had him. Where did he go? Third. What pick was he?
I think he was
64.
which is
I talked
kind
to-
of where he was slotted.
Well,
really.
I talked to Dane before the draft, and I thought Dane told us or me that he could be there in the 4th round for the Browns.
He was the 67th pick.
So it was right around. He didn't fall. That's where he was supposed to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'll tell you this.
he should have got higher. If we'll see. I'm doing what I accuse everybody else of, overreacting to one game.
we've got one game.
But
to
I was
base
just
this
so
on.
impressed by how he played.
But I mean, it wasn't just the game. In training camp, in the preseason games, going back to, if you watched him against Penn State and Texas A&M, and they were putting their best guys on.
Yeah,
he
I
was
don't know.
chewing those defenses apart.
Right, but it's one game in the NFL, so obviously
No,
we
I
got
know,
to see
but what
more.
I'm saying is, you can't judge a guy from Bowling Green unless I want to see what he does when he's playing elite defenses.
Right.
And he played 2 in back-to-back weeks on the road. Penn State was in trouble in the 4th quarter in that game. Bowling Green played both of those teams close because he had phenomenal games in both. And I want to see what you do against elite college talent to see how you project at the next level.
Let's go. Let's go, Harold Fannin.
I did. He went to the same high school, and for 3 years while he was there, I did color commentary for the team, and he played safety and wide receiver.
Right, he looks like a wide receiver.
He had 100 yards. He had 100 tackles. He had like 600 yards, 6 touchdowns at receiver. Now, I was watching him, and I'm like, man, he's big. I'm like, who's this big receiver out there? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So he goes to Bowling Green, and I'm a Mac guy. I'm watching, and I'm like, hey, at Bowling Green, they spoon fed him. I watched the bowl game. And they was like, yeah, we got Harold Fannin Jr., and we're going to just keep giving him the rock.
And every defense they played all year knew that's where it was going.
And there was nothing they could do with it.
Couldn't stop him.
And he's a little unorthodox, but he has run after catch. What he did to them Big Ten team, what he did to Penn State, at Penn State, he was dominant. At Texas A&M, he was dominant. He was running away from people. Here's the thing. Jason was right about one thing about Stefanski. Right now, if David Njoku and Harold Fannin Jr. is cussing me out of their breath, because you know what one thing about Stefanski is? You play tight end in this offense, you are the focal position. You got the star. They gonna give you everything. Anytime he gets a wildcat touch, and I knew it was coming. The jet reverses with tight end, and I knew it was coming. When he got that, that's all I needed to know. He about to get if he's available in your waiver wires, there's a couple of people you need to pick up. Harold Fannin Jr. and this next guy we're going to talk about.
I got him in a few different leagues.
Yeah. Let's talk about Dylan Sampson. Another strong performance. But what'd you make of the rookie running back who out-touched Jerome Ford by quite a bit?
I thought he was good. I think the numbers, the yards per carry, are a little misleading. I was surprised at the end of the game when I saw he only averaged 2 yards per carry. I didn't think the Browns blocked very well in the running game. I don't know about you guys. I did not think they blocked particularly well, but he averaged 2.4 yards per carry. Obviously, he made some tremendous plays. They pointed it out on the broadcast. I mean, he made a couple of catches on bad throws by Joe where he grabbed it off the ground. He was clearly the better of the two backs. Jerome Ford looked like absolute garbage.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, Dylan Sampson, when Judkins gets back on the field, which may be this week, he and Sampson, I think, are going to make a pretty nice little 1-2 punch there. I was really impressed. Again, a lot of those carries, I think those are going to go to Judkins. But an occasional carry and as a weapon in the passing game,
that's where I like
it. Was really promising.
Yeah, really.
I'd give him a nice solid B for that game. Jerome Ford was an F. I mean, he was terrible. But I thought it was another impressive first game for a rookie.
Yeah, the run game wasn't even close to good enough. I think Jerome Ford is a big part of that problem.
I wouldn't play him at all.
I'd
cut him.
I'd be. I don't know if I'd cut him.
Well, Sampson's going to get suspended, or might get suspended.
Judkins.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Judkins might get suspended. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm going to cut Ford, but I'd be fine if he doesn't take another carry here anytime soon. I think the run blocking was suspect at times. I think DeJuan Jones really needs to improve in the run blocking. But overall, I think it's more of a back issue than it is the line issue. I just think that Jerome Ford isn't good enough, and Dylan Sampson was a rookie getting his first carries in the NFL. But as a pass catcher out of the backfield, I thought he was terrific, and I think this is how the offense is supposed to look. This is what they're trying to get back to. 2 tight end sets, play action, quick screens. We didn't see – I know this isn't Dylan necessarily. We didn't really see deep shots on third down. I think those will come in time. Again, as you're getting back into the offense that Kevin's comfortable calling, and the personnel is built for that type of system. But Dylan is a pass catcher out of the backfield, making things happen on swings and screens. That's why he's here. That's going to continue. And then as a secondary complementary piece to Quinshawn, I agree. Maybe we see Judkins in a limited role sooner than later. He's got to get up to speed on pass protections, on blitz pickups. There's a lot that he missed. I don't think that you can just assume that you can throw him out there for 15, 16 carries right away. So I don't know how much they'd be able to use him. But Sampson can fill that gap in the meantime. I don't think anyone thought of him as the lead ball carrier. I don't think he is. But as a complimentary piece, yeah, he was fine and he will be fine.
Yeah, I didn't. We kind of talked when we kind of picked this on the show. I said it might be uphill battle for the Browns when it comes to the running game. They got to run it better. They got to run it better. Whether I haven't seen all 22 yet, so I'll withhold judgment on whether there was some things, because there could be some things up front, and there's some places and some holes to go, and guys are just not hitting their landmarks to do what they need to do. You know how I feel about Jerome Ford. I've been on record a lot talking about how that is not going to get it done. I'm willing to give Dylan Sampson all his carries, like all his third down touches, all of that. The problem with the Browns is, they basically got the other guy back there. He's a fullback. They got him playing goal line fullback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
They give him dive. I said, Kevin has dusted off the dive play on the goal line. So I think he's more. You know what I thought too? I thought there was one run or one carry that he gave he broke out of a few tackles. Yeah. He's a smaller guy, but he's more durable than I thought. Maybe he's one of them dudes, like Darren Sproles never got hit hard. Guys that are that short and small, but he did a really nice job catching the ball out of the backfield. And you know what too? What I want all of the young rookies to see, it's a good opportunity to see it. I thought what Joe did best was there wasn't very much available in the passing game yesterday, right? But what Joe did, I thought was a nice job, was up 1,000, 2,000, check
Balls
the
out.
back. 1,000, 1,000, let me step up a little bit. I'm going to over here. You know what I'm saying? And just let those guys get the football within 1 or 2 yards of the line of scrimmage and move on. I thought Joe did a masterful job of being like, hey, and he knows his own limitations. He's like, look, I'm going to run one time, but there's a couple times we in field goal position, ain't no problem taking a sack. Let's just take the sack within 2 yards or throw the ball out of bounds.
We're about to talk more about Joe, but have you ever seen anybody look slower on him?
On that run?
No.
He's a 39 speed man.
They called a quarterback sneak with a 40-year-old man. I thought, oh my God, they're trying to kill this.
Let the record show.
Yeah.
I got to say, gee, after the first 20 minutes or so, you sound a lot like the rest of us. I'm just saying.
I know he is.
I'm just saying.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
Hey, listen.
You sound a lot like.
I'm hearing a lot of moral victories.
I'm just saying.
Listen.
It's fair.
That's analysis, G. Bush. Analysis, G. Bush is different.
Knee jerk is different.
If you ask me the overall arching theme, right? If I have a terrible meal at a restaurant, you say, but how was dessert? I had to go through them terrible sides in that steak to get the dessert, but that cheesecake was hitting though. I got it, right.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
All right, let's talk a little.
Hold on, I didn't get my thoughts on.
Oh,
hold on.
Shoot. Sorry,
Yeah,
go.
I liked him a lot in the passing game. I want to throw this caveat out. I think the elixir here, the straw stirring this drink, is the 40-year-old. The one that I wanted to bring back last year. Joe Flacco is a really good quarterback. I know that you guys might push back on that. Joe Flacco reads things better than anybody on our roster, and it's not even close, and he should. Joe
is the next topic, so
okay,
save that.
Okay,
that's where we're going.
But it'll take us there perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't know what Samson looks like without Joe, because running the ball, he was not good. He just wasn't. I didn't see explosion. I didn't see him running with authority and purpose. Out of the backfield, he looked like a different guy. He looked phenomenal. So I say all of that, as much as I liked him in the passing game, he might well play under a backup quarterback and look invisible out of the backfield. Joe made everybody else look better.
Those players that are tertiary players, third down running backs, second tight ends, guys that'll flash occasionally when you have see Joe Flacco, and we won't go too far into it. I just think Joe Flacco, is he a good quarterback? I think he's a serviceable quarterback, starting level quarterback that has all the answers to the test.
Mike, get us to Joe Flacco before we say more about
let's dive into Joe Flacco, guys. Before we do that, 2 quick reads. The NFL season's almost over. FanDuel, making sure you're ready for kickoff with the can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet $5, and if that $5 bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So are you ready to play? If you are, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. That is FanDuel.com/UCSS to place your first $5 bet. Today's episode is also brought to you by Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app, where making the right call can actually pay off. We all make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right means cashing in. With football back, Prize Picks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes all in less than 60 seconds. Download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after you play your first 5. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, Flacco.
Hold on 1 second. I just shared this with G. I got to share with everybody else.
This is wild.
You guys weren't the only ones laughing at my Ozzie Newsome take from my wife. Ozzie, huh? It's bold move, Cotton.
and she don't be texting no time. I said, bro, what? I said,
that's stop, turn, or tracks.
Like she was doing something. What? Hold on.
She's old enough to remember 82.
That's wild. My
own wife is laughing at my takes.
This after you stopped me for him calling him Carson Matthews.
I know.
Clay.
No, it's Carson Matthews. It's Clay Matthews.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid.
2 things.
My bad.
All right, Flacco. Go. What'd you think of the 40-year-old quarterback making his debut in this iteration of his Browns tenure?
I just spilled mine. I thought he was great.
Yeah. Do we have to give grades?
I thought he was great.
What grade would you give him, Jay? Just for the sake of this, what grade
would
you
give him?
Give him a
solid B+, and I could be talked into an A-. He's 31 of 45, 290 yards. By my count, no picks. He did everything we thought he was going to do. He's checked down Charlie. He dinks and dunks. I'm with Jay. I think as the weeks go on, he's going to open up the offense. I was disappointed in one thing. Nothing down the field.
How did we? I don't know why. When did we think he was going to dink and dunk? He never did that the first time.
I thought that's exactly what he was going to do. I thought he was going to throw the ball to the tight end. No, I did not. I did not.
I had him for 350. I came up shy. He's
290. His stat line looked like exactly what I said it was going to look like.
I thought he played okay. I would give him like a C+. Wow. I thought he looked.
Where was he deficient?
He was not accurate with his throws.
Jeez.
I thought
he had 7 drops and he was 31 of 45. Give him those drops, he's 38 of 45.
So then we got to say that about every other game with his drops.
Well, no, I mean, if you're 38 of 45, my God, I'm not going to say you're not accurate.
Well, accuracy is not just whether the pass is caught or not, Jay.
There's a lot to do with it.
Okay. So there are a lot of throws that he didn't put on target, that like guys had to make plays. Receivers are supposed to do that. I just didn't think he was particularly accurate in that game yesterday. How many official drops did he have, Mike? Do we know?
I counted 7, but I don't know what
it's
the final
not 7.
Was.
They don't
I don't know.
I'll figure it out.
There is an official stat, but I'm just saying balls that I thought should have been caught, I had it 7.
Do they have an off-target stat?
Like I thought there were a lot of balls that were caught.
PFF will have it.
He could have given the receiver a better throw. I didn't think he.
You can say that about every quarterback. Yeah, look, if it's caught,
I'm not being asked about every quarterback. I'm being asked. You asked me what I saw as a deficiency. I'm saying I didn't think he was accurate as I remember him.
He hit on 2/3 of his passes.
I thought.
I have your numbers here.
Go ahead.
According to PFF, this is just one tracker. There were 4 drops yesterday, and he had 3 passes that were considered off-target throws.
Okay, that's a.
I don't know what does that mean off target?
I mean,
According to the key,
that could have been incompletions.
Right, but like
in all likelihood, they were incompletions.
If I get a throw where I got to stretch out to make the catch, is that considered off target? Probably not.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I don't know exactly.
I thought he looked. I'm not saying he was bad. I just thought he looked okay. I thought he looked old to me. He is older than the last time we saw him, and I keep playing him because I do think he will help the development of the young players around him. But I don't think he's going to last, and I don't think he can't put the team on his back. So as they play, as the competition gets tough and the season goes, I think they're going to have a hard time scoring points because I just don't think he's going to be good enough consistently as the season goes. I thought he played okay, but I don't know. He didn't have that same level of sharpness. Like when he played here 2 years ago, they were going downfield all the time. They didn't do that at all.
He was also throwing interceptions all the time. And, I mean, yeah, I know he threw 2 yesterday. But
I'm not blaming him for those.
Those weren't on him. So I think that there's some give and take with that. I think part of the driving it down the field comes with greater risk that he's going to throw picks, where what you saw yesterday was a lot of short and conservative. Honestly,
I was just surprised because the Bengals were really getting no pressure on him for the most part. There was that one drive with 2 plays in a row. They got pressure on him.
He did take one big hit.
Outside of that, they got like no pressure on him.
I think part of it is because he was getting the ball out quick.
Yeah, very quick.
And it wasn't, I mean, last year, I don't want to get into last year was a disaster on a number of levels. They were holding the ball too long, and then it was the check down. It wasn't going anywhere. Yesterday, it felt like it was more within the rhythm of the offense. It was what was expected. The play action I thought was effective. I'm more with Jay than you. I think you're being a little hard on him.
I mean, look, by the way, you want to point to numbers. Look at those numbers. Those aren't good. Go ahead, put that up, Mike.
What? I didn't see what
the numbers Mike just had up there.
I didn't see what
throwing
it was.
to 8 different receivers.
The quarterback rating is bad.
Well, the interceptions kill those. That kills it.
Was that the QBR or the quarterback rating?
Doesn't matter.
I have both.
You get dinged on both.
No, I don't think you do on
you do. You get dinged on both.
QBR?
Both.
I'm looking at both of them.
Yeah, you get dinged on
QBR
both.
right now is 32.8. His quarterback rating was 75.8.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it factors in on QBR.
It does.
You sure?
How do they not? How do interceptions not?
I don't understand. I would be the first to say there's a lot to that I don't understand, and I tried to get my mind around it when I was at ESPN. I had smart people explaining it to me. It is so convoluted, but I will say this.
Quarterback rating. I don't know about QBR.
Both the interceptions kill you.
But
it kills you.
And the yards per pass attempt is bad.
I don't remember off the top of my head what his EPA yesterday was, but it wasn't good. It was
minus 0.01.
Yeah. And his average depth of target was on the lower end. I think it was like 5.5 yards. So that's why the completion that you see.
Yeah.
I can't remember what. Mike, would you have? Yeah, 6.4 yards per attempt.
That's not good.
That's because his average depth of target was like 5.6. And I think there was only 3 or 4 quarterbacks in week 1 that had a lower ADOT. So everything was short. And that goes back to what we were talking
I expected
about.
that.
And so, judging it by that, I thought he was fine. I don't think he was elite. What I thought was elite was the touchdown throw to Tillman.
That was a great play.
A rookie's not making that throw.
Yeah. I agree with
that.
That
was a terrific throw into the end zone.
Well, it was anticipation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What was your grade?
Well, Mike, I'd give him a B. Like, I don't think.
All right, I said C plus. I think.
No, you didn't say plus.
You said C minus.
Yeah,
or C.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I lean more that way.
Killing him.
No, you weren't. I lean more that way than that way. I think you're being a little bit too hard on him. He executed what was asked of him. And
I mean, we're killing Cedric Tillman for one drop, but I can't.
It turned into an interception. You have to live with that.
He had to dive for the play.
It doesn't matter.
He got his hands on the ball.
He has to dive for a play. It's all the wide receiver's fault, none the quarterback?
No, but most of it's on him.
In that play, he in those 2 throws, those are where he had to put the ball.
That's it.
For
to
him
complete it.
To complete the pass and only give them a chance.
I got to go back and watch that again. See
especially the Jerry Jeudy one. Look,
I'm not talking about the Jerry Jeudy one. I'm talking specifically on the Tillman one.
Both of them were similar.
Here's what I'm going to say. Now, mind you, I'm going to just repeat this. I got to keep the same energy with Joe Flacco as if 2 rookies was playing. If 2 rookies was playing and them balls was thrown the way they were, we would be sitting here saying, bro, you got to get a rookie a chance. Come on, the rookie, he gave you opportunity. You got to catch some football. So I got to say the same for Joe Flacco. Here's the thing. I gave Joe Flacco a B-, right? Now, there's a couple of things why I gave him B-. It could have been anywhere from the range from a B- to a B+. The reason I started at the B-, I was confused. There was a couple of times there was some motion penalties, not getting lined up correctly.
We took a delay, too.
Took a delay game. And I said, dang it. Well, and I was like, and it was just, those things, I expect Joe Flacco, because how great and tough. When I say Joe Flacco is a guy with all the answers, he done seen every defense, everything possible. So I expect him, the pre-snap stuff, flawless. Out of the huddle, no delay games, flawless. That's what I expect out of him. And I expect him to understand it down the distance. The reason I like this was, for me as a quarterback, and these are guys who are veterans, I like my quarterback to understand what type of time we on today. It ain't one of them games, right? Like, even when you say Joe Burrow didn't play that well, right? But there's a couple of throws where they trying to get the ball to T. Higgins, or he understood what he needed to do in the you can't make up the yards you thought you was going to get. You take what you get at that point in time, and you understand what you're doing. Flacco knew, all right, I'm inside the red zone before the half. We got 3 points in our back pocket. When we get the ball at half, and we want to have an 8-minute quarter.
Right. That was a smart.
That was a smart. Throw it in the
sack.
stands. Kick the field goal. Now we got the ball back. Yeah. Now he comes down and throws a touchdown. I thought the touchdown, I will agree, that was a veteran throw, because when you look at it from the back angle, he threw that with anticipation. He knew exactly what coverage was. He knew it, and he threw it before he was even out of his break.
That was a great angle issue. By the way,
it was that was great.
I really loved that broadcast team. That's a great broadcast
I enjoyed
team.
it.
Underrated.
I enjoyed it.
That was
underrated.
really
They did a great job with the game.
And now the interceptions, right? Joe's gonna say Joe might even tell you, hey, maybe I could have thrown the ball away right there before they kicked the field goal. It was a 36-yard field goal. He took a sack before that. I think it was 4-yard loss. Maybe he says, hey, maybe I could get us in something better or whatever. But to me, I come away thinking this game was not won or lost at the quarterback position.
No.
There's games you can say, well, hey, the quarterback was doing this and that. This wasn't one of those games.
No.
So the yards downfield were a little alarming. Maybe the Bengals had some defense. I haven't seen all 22.
Gee, don't you think that was to Jay's point? I think what they looked at was, we can bring Joe back. We can run this back. What killed us with Joe?
Right.
The downfield throws that are picked.
Yeah.
How do you minimize interceptions? Well, if they're all coming on downfield throws, you dink and dunk.
Yeah.
That's why they did it. I do think as the season goes on, they're going to have to open that up.
Yeah,
and
they
they
have
will.
to be able to drive the
and
ball
they will.
downfield.
But I was a little alarmed, too, that they didn't even take one shot. Nothing. They had 2 plays of 25 yards each. The Bengals' longest play from scrimmage yesterday was 20 yards. I would never have guessed that.
And the
coming into
Bengals' secondary is not very good. So I
Which
was
is why I
surprised
wanted
they
them-
didn't take any shots.
Are you willing?
I thought Cam Taylor-Britt was, in particular, he was hideous in that game.
But
that penalty on Jerry Jeudy, there was no reason for that.
He
That
just
was so
tackled him
stupid.
for no reason.
That was so dumb.
My thing is, again, it goes back to roster construction. Who did you? If I'm playing the Cleveland Browns, besides Isaiah Bond, who he's not going to run.
He had that one play they didn't use him.
Right. He's not. Yeah. You look at him, and as a defensive back, he's not going to run everything in the route tree. You're sitting on that. And then I'm looking at Cedric Tillman, Jamari Thrash, and Jerry Jeudy. Y'all not running away from me.
Yeah.
Like you guys. So they don't scare you or threaten you in that way. So.
Here's one thing with Flacco that you worry about going forward. He's one of the very few quarterbacks in the league that the defense has zero concern about him getting out of the pocket.
At all.
That's right.
Right? And that's a major advantage to defenses, especially when you start playing good defenses.
And the Bengals knew that yesterday, too.
And they don't have a good defense. They played okay, but they when you start playing good defenses, there's no threat of the run whatsoever. None.
It's going
to look different against the Ravens.
This is where we say, I don't even want to start to get to this because
I know.
So the reason you be so upset is you're not going to get these next couple of weeks.
Nope.
The week 1 is a reprieve because everybody's trying to figure out what they're doing and figure the bases
out. Week 1
out.
is the most likely week to have an upset.
When you got the Ravens and now you got the rest of these teams, and these teams are jousting in the AFC for positioning. they're not going to play with you.
Oh, you're going to get an angry Ravens
So
team now,
now,
too.
Oh, yeah.
if you're the Browns and you can't hang your head on running the ball, you don't really have a threat of Joe Flacco getting out of pocket and extending plays, and you don't have a deep threat that people think you're going to run by you, what's available?
It's extremely limited offense.
Yeah.
It's just not talent on that side of the ball right now.
It's crazy.
All right, Mike.
All right, guys, we got 2 reads, and we have a bunch of super chats we got to get to. First, Upside is a proud sponsor of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Are you still paying full price for gas? Well, stop leaving the money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the Upside app in the App Store or on Google Play and start earning cash at the pump. Use the limited time promo code Touchdown and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You could make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed at first. I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon or other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using the promo code Touchdown for a limited 25-cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code Touchdown. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. Game Time is also a sponsor of Super Chats today. There's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your favorite football team, but let's be honest, getting tickets online can be a hassle. That's why I use Game Time, the app that gives you the advantage. Game Time is fast, easy, and backed by the Game Time guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price, plus the fees are included. So the price you see is the price you pay. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. All right, we got a bunch of super chats, like a lot of super chats. So if there's nothing to respond with, we'll keep going. If there's something you have to respond with,
all right, Mike,
we can respond. First one comes from our guy Eddie, who says, not blaming Stefanski, but why is no one talking about the Browns having the ball with 4 minutes left in the first half and slow rolling it down the field and settling for a field goal?
They're trying to bleed the clock so they didn't leave any time for
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And then you know what? That's a loser's mentality. But you're right. That's why they did it.
You got Joe Burrow on the other side.
I don't care. So what? Like, you got to score points to win football games. And I thought the exact same thing as what Eddie said. Like, okay, I get it. You don't want to punt. You don't want to give them any time left.
And you
but
get the
they
ball
still
back.
had time.
Loser's
What are you
mentality.
talking about?
Go down the field and score a touchdown if you can do it.
I think they tried. They just wanted to do it with a lot of.
They
They
didn't
still
try
had
with any
time.
urgency or any. The
It
play
was
calling
like
was very
plenty of time.
conservative.
It was 39 seconds still on the clock, I think, when they got the ball.
Where was the kick from?
I don't even know where it was. It wasn't a real close field goal.
All right, go on.
There was plenty of time. I don't know.
But
They had plenty of time to score.
I'm sure there are other people that believe that too, because
It was a 45-yard field goal.
So they were
try
at
to
the
score a
20
touchdown every time you have the ball.
But they were trying to score a touchdown. They
think
just
they
also wanted to use clock, which makes sense.
Yeah, they did. They used clock. I have more problems with the play calling. I just thought they got extra conservative there, and it was obvious what they were doing exactly what Jay said. They didn't want to give any time at all left with the Bengals.
Which is smart.
I don't like that. Be aggressive. The object of the game is to score a touchdown every time you have the ball.
They weren't trying to score a touchdown. They just couldn't. They just got stopped.
Well, they were, but there's levels
Keep
to
going.
it.
Keep
All
going.
right, next one. Salvatore 216 says, ironically, I'm 31-year-old diehard Browns fan. I had no idea about the toy being thrown on the field. Jay's right. We don't all have social media.
Smart.
CB
You're smart.
says Szymt was poop, but they had 3 drops that led to 3 turnovers. That's pathetic. 2 of those drops are by their number 1 wide receiver, Judy.
There was no 3 turnovers.
There's only 2 turnovers. Yeah. James Mace Jr. says, Adam, you were right about Jerome Ford running like a show pony. And what percentage of the loss was players versus coaching?
I don't give any.
I
give 100% of the loss to Szymt.
Everybody on the Cleveland Browns lost.
100.
Yeah. Yes. for me.
Dontavius Winston says, how do you evaluate a kicker? You can't, unfortunately. Curtis Reese says, the Bengals tried to hand us this game, and we said, nah, we're the Browns. We don't want it.
Back to
Szymt
the
learned a
kicker.
lot
How do you
from-
evaluate a kicker? You can't. Does he make kicks? That's how you evaluate kickers.
I think his point is that, like,
How do you know until you put him in a game?
Right, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You
So-
test them mentally.
Yeah.
In
Curtis
practice.
Reeser says,
That's not the
Bengals
same
tried to
thing.
hand us the game, and we said, nah,
Guys, we're
no
trying
thanks
to
for the
create it.
Browns. Schmidt learned a lot from D-Hop. Our top 2 receivers were our running back 2 and tight end 2. James Mace Jr. said, number 25, don't be mad, UPS is hiring. James also says, Adam the Bull and Jay, if number 25 misses an important kick next week, do not hold back on this organization. Rip them a new one. Stephen Royer says, Tyler Bass was supposed to be back week 5 for the Bills. Can we hold tight until then and work out a deal with Buffalo for Matt Prater?
Thought the same thing. You can't until he's released.
Hey, kick a waiver wire move.
Oh, my
James
God.
Mace Jr.
Yeah, no, you
I'm
can't.
out. I'll see you on.
James Mace Jr.
Better
says,
than the
G.
kicker we
Bush,
have now.
preach, G. Bush. Jordan D'Agostaro says, G. Bush, accept this donation for trauma. Brendan G. says, Haslam owns a soccer team. Go grab one of those guys in Columbus. Get a damn kicker. No excuses.
Might have better luck.
Vernell Jackson says, Stefanski's schemes, no matter the quarterback, score 16 to 20 points a game. That's what you get. We should have scored 30 points yesterday. Set Apart Laz says, Flacco will only throw to Sampson and 2 tight ends from now on. Hate to lose, but a G. Bush rant after a loss is always epic.
I want to drink Kool-Aid, man. They got a whole pack of the Kool-Aid back there for me. They bought it, bulk. Bought it, bulk Kool-Aid.
You got a lot more positive as the show went on.
Yeah, I did.
Bulk Kool-Aid for this team?
Yeah, dude, we had it.
You could have bought 3 or 4 packages and been good, dude.
4,500, no Kool-Aid.
You
I'm
don't
not
need
drinking
bulk.
any this year.
DB Dog
Kool-Aid
21 is our next super chatter. DB Dog 21 says, Jay, have you ever had an outing where you got rocked? How'd you feel afterwards? Are you a crappy pitcher because of it? CeeDee Lamb cost their game. Is he a bad player? But you're right. They got to make those plays.
He talked it. That was like me.
That was he went 360 in that.
He was like, yeah,
So,
you're right.
By the way, let me answer that. Yes, I've had a crappy outing, and yes, I was crappy when I had a crappy outing.
And yes, he
Done.
And yes, he thought about it when he went home.
Next up, Salvatore the 216
Sometimes
says,
for weeks.
Right.
Jason's take on the kicker staying and answering questions and being accountable, while Class A did the opposite, might be my favorite take of the year.
It's just and where's Emmanuel Clase today?
At the
Casino.
At the casino. I'm just saying.
Man, bull.
It sounds.
I wish we had time to talk about that.
Guardians are not completely out of it, by the way.
No, big series tonight.
They
but
won't go to the playoffs. but they have a
we'll get
chance.
to an overtime.
No, listen,
I got more.
listen, it sounds minor. Stuff like that matters to teams and to players in the locker room. It does. You can just dismiss it all you want. It matters.
All right, next one. Reggie the Bug Glover says, I said it yesterday. I will say it again. I'm chalking this up as just week 1 jitters. All of those mistakes. Moving forward, if they minimize the week 1 mistakes, they could steal 10 or 11 games this season.
Oh, my God.
Hey, dog.
Talk about delusional.
He said steal 10. You know, that's like somebody said, man, I stole 3 Lamborghinis. How did you steal 2 and
You
get away
steal
with
10 or
it?
11 games, that's a felony.
That is stunning to me.
The next 2 come from Acid Brooks. Do you guys expect a rookie DT to be at his peak in week 1? Graham is a
No.
force with a lot of potential. There were no runs up the middle yesterday. The defense looked great. We just beat a top 3 offense, or we just beat up a top 3 offense. Jay, you talk about us like this is a bad team. If we minimize missed field goals, we'll win 10 games. Back-to-back
God.
super chatters with
Oh
10-game
my God.
predictions.
Oh, hold on. He said they did not run the ball up the middle at all. Did he see that first drive?
Yeah, they ran it
Right
on
at
the
him.
first drive.
All right, next
right down
super
our
chat
throats.
comes from someone in the chat called Steve K. I think this guy's a weirdo.
Director Steve?
It is Director Steve, yeah. He says, love this show. I watch it every day. FYI, turns out flying to Venice takes 11 hours, only slightly longer than Tyvis' NFL career.
Oh,
geez.
Dang,
So
bro.
even
Director Steve.
internationally,
Shots fired.
Who
Steve's
takes
taking
vacation
shots.
2 weeks in a row to start the season? Let's
I know,
go. Where are you?
disgusting. Topo42
He
says,
watches
bad
every day,
take.
he says.
Topo42 says, bad take on kicker to cut him. York had a phenomenal first game, and look how that turned out. You can't judge a guy by 1 game. Acid Brooks, give AB credit for this A-plus rookie class and these great D-lines we keep getting.
Can't get an
Jay,
A
you
plus
bashed
after one
AB,
game
but
either.
you just said we drafted Ozzie Jr. and Clay Matthews Jr.
Yes, and I also said Friday this is the best. This would be the best draft class that he's had.
All right, everyone stop sending in super chats because we're never going to get to all these. We love
No,
you guys.
don't keep sending them. Mikey was misunderstood. We'll just.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, come on.
we're not going to get to overtime. We're just going to have to keep going then.
Yes.
Good, let's do that.
Do you want
All
to
right.
do that? Just blow right past the one? Can we do that?
Yeah, we can.
Go ahead, keep going.
Acid Brooks says, gives AB credit for this. Just read that one. Acid
You
Brooks
get no
says, by
credit
the
after
way,
1 game.
you would all blame Watson for those picks, just saying.
Oh,
Prob-
shut
probably-
up. That's
probably.
nonsense. That's
we wouldn't.
nonsense. Give me
All right, next one.
He's healthy.
There's
He's
still a
healthy.
Watson warrior out there.
There's still one or two of
One
them.
holding down the camp.
It's
Next
like when
one,
someone
next-
gets
guys,
late, the
next one,
crickets
next one.
get real far between.
Mike, we're going past one. Relax
we
your
still have
nervousness.
30 super chats.
Mike,
We're going to be here till 3
take
if
it
you
down
don't
a
let me
notch.
get through these.
Take it down a notch.
Forceman47 says Barry's 2025 class drafts 2 guys Jay thinks are going to be great / Hall of Fame caliber, but he needs to be fired. If all
Yes.
these rooks hit, he's going nowhere.
Yes, both can be true. You can't get a kicker. You can't get a wide receiver. Those are 2
they've
critical
already changed
positions.
history. Jay
And you
said
don't get
Carson
points
Matthews.
because you have one great draft. He's stunk up the
Bush
joint
didn't
for
say that.
5 years.
Davey Davis says $1 million bonus for all game-winning kicks. I bet that would change their culture.
Jimmy pay it too.
Yeah.
He probably would.
He would pay it if he could.
That's fact.
Son-in-law would be out there promoting it the week before.
That'd be wild. That'd be crazy.
Hey guys, we're giving away $1 million. I was born on 3rd, and I think I got a triple.
Hey, listen, I had nothing to do with that.
Go ahead, Mike.
Acid Brooks says, did Jay just say he doesn't know if Sampson would look good without Flacco?
That's what I said.
His hard-on for Flacco is getting out of control. His
Hey, hold it there, pal. So we got to have a conversation about the super chats. How much money do we make on all of these? And
Today we've made a lot.
Now wait a minute.
We've made a lot today.
Is it worth $1 a comment at 30 comments? Is it worth giving 20 minutes of the show up for that on a Monday?
I mean,
If you just want to,
Most of them sound exactly the same.
I guess that the thing about looking good with Flacco, it's compared to rookies, not compared to most other.
Well,
quarterbacks
that's all we have.
in the
That's what I'm
NFL.
saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
clarifying.
If we had another quarterback, that was yes, but we don't.
The context was when you have a quarterback that understands the
Who's
game,
competent.
He's saying, okay, I'm not going to force anything.
Right.
I'm going to make sure. Hey, it's
yeah.
okay.
He's going to go through his progression.
It's okay to
He
take
threw
the
to
2
8
yards.
different guys yesterday.
Although Gabriel's going to be probably a dink and dunk guy, so
I think
might
he
do
will.
that too.
I think he will.
Yeah.
That's
No.
the league today.
Yeah.
I mean-
That's where we are.
He's going to be
I
a
don't love
15. He's going to be a 15-year Colt McCoy, baby.
He'd take that.
Yeah.
Boy, you can go to the bank on that.
Yeah. Good thing you spent a
All right,
3rd-round pick
keep
on
going.
it. Let's go.
our next super chat comes from a friend of the show, Oshi.
Oh, she.
Beartooth? Yeah, shout out to Beartooth, my favorite metal band. Listen to them all the time. But Oshi said, didn't Sampson have 93 yards after contact? He had 93 total yards. I don't think it's all necessarily after
You know, it
contact.
wasn't.
That'd be elite.
It would be elite.
We get hit
Yeah.
a lot.
Bill Rodewald says the game plan was ball control to keep Burrow off the field. We will see more downfield passing as the season goes on.
Now you see how that's morphed into that was the part of the game.
Right.
No, it was open. We had a game plan on that.
We
one.
wanted to chew the clock.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Acid Brooks says, Flacco's mid. I love you guys. Favorite show.
It's fair.
Kyle Benner says, anyone see the Texans game? We saw glimmers of the old Nick Chubb.
I didn't see
I
that.
watched his
didn't see it.
highlights. I watched his runs all edited together.
What did he finish with? I meant to look.
60 yards.
60 yards on 13. He outrushed the Browns on half the carries.
Yeah. He had two longer runs and a bunch of shorter ones.
Yeah,
for him.
you know what? I thought I gotta be honest on this. I thought he looked a little bit slower, which you would expect.
Yeah, of course.
But he still runs with the same purpose and intensity. I thought the Texans freaked out yesterday and panicked. I don't know why they didn't give him the ball more. He was averaging almost 5 yards a carry.
They might want to.
You
be
lost
careful
by
with
4
him.
points, and they played the game like they were down by 15.
Yeah.
I didn't get it at all.
All right, next super chat comes from the Hot Saucers. The third turnover he meant it was the turnover on downs with the drop.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see
The
you.
Judy drop,
Yeah,
that
Yep.
yeah, okay.
technically doesn't
that's
count
right.
as a turnover, but that
It should.
Yeah, it should.
That
It
should
should.
count on Jerry Judy.
it was the worst turnover of all of them.
Yes.
being totally honest.
Most punitive.
Aggie Fury 101 says, why does Stefanski stop throwing to Njoku when he's hot?
I think
I didn't
Why
know
does
Kevin was the
Stefanski?
I didn't know Kevin was the quarterback.
That's ridiculous.
That's the drive. So here's what happens. So when they say hike, all the autopilot stuff goes to the guy with the ball. He decides
That's
where that rock is going to go.
Yeah.
That's just how quarterback play goes.
Next one, D4L Josh said, and this was a good super chat from, he sent this again. He sent it to us in the postgame show. Apparently, our kickers in the 2026 draft too.
Don't draft a
Bulls
kicker.
got a no
Don't
drafting
draft a kicker.
rule.
Yo.
I do.
Do you still abide by that,
don't-
Jay? By the don't draft a kicker rule?
Here's the rule I subscribe to. I don't love it, but it is what it is. Your kicker scores more points than anyone else. He better be more reliable than everyone else. And we haven't been able to figure that out. If you happen to find a kicker in the draft, now we drafted a Groza winner who wasn't a good kicker. Other teams have solved the kicking quandary. Why can't we? That's
That's a very good point.
And I do subscribe mostly to what Bull says. Don't do it because, I mean, one of the best kickers in the league right now never played college football, wasn't drafted. So you can find talent in a lot of different places. I will say, in punting, they've gone to Australians. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of college punters are, almost all of them, it seems, are they from Australia?
Yeah.
Why don't we try to find soccer players from Europe where they play this sport from the time they're
what's
4?
his name a couple of years back, the punter who was from Australia?
Punt guard?
Gillen?
Gillian.
No, he was from Scotland.
Scotland,
Scottish
Australia,
Hammer.
what's
Same
the
thing, right?
The Irish Scottish Hammer.
Scottish Hammer.
Scottish
yeah,
Hammer.
I mean, there's got to be a paradigm breaker here. We can think outside the box. Look at what the Cowboys did. They found a former soccer player. Ant played soccer. The fundamentals are the same.
You want to have Ant be the kicker?
You know what? He's on my list.
Okay.
He's on my list.
Jason, what were you going to say?
I don't remember. Keep going.
All right, we have 2 more. Reggie Bone says, I just sent a super chat just to make you keep reading, McNuggets.
It worked. Good job.
Next.
That was good. We got another one. The Hot Saucer says, give us Kickalicious. Just kidding, but I did love that guy.
Who's Kickalicious?
Who's
Wow.
Kickalicious?
I remember
he's talking
Kickalicious. I remember
I don't
that.
remember Kickalicious.
Man,
Kickalicious?
listen, you don't.
I remember automatic.
Oh, that was like a viral internet guy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't remember which kicker it was.
What happened to
I
him?
think you're right.
There is so many.
Kickalicious?
It was-
Am I allowed to look that up on a
Yeah.
work
Yeah, you
I
can look
wouldn't,
that up.
Mike.
Yeah, you can look that up. Of all the things
Is that
we've
it for
done
the
today,
super chats, Mike?
that'll be
No,
the
we
least
have
egregious.
more. Havard Rugland is Kickalicious,
Okay.
a Norwegian place kicker.
You
That's
don't
not
remember?
who I was thinking of. I thought the
Way
Browns
to create the
signed.
excitement there, Mike.
I
Let's
thought
go.
the Browns signed some viral kicker. Or
should've.
some guy that went viral for kicks or I don't know. It doesn't matter.
There's a guy in the XFL that's right. All right, we have our last super chat here.
Yeah.
Comes
Again.
from Sky High, who says, here's $5 for your crybaby. Stop hating on the viewers' $1 super chats.
I'm not hating on the viewers. I just think we have to, on a Monday when there's a billion things to talk about, to waste 25 minutes for $30.
Hey, if
We
you
made a lot more than $30
What do we
today on
do?
super
If-
chats.
if
I'll tell
you-
that.
Total it up and let me know what it is.
Shout out to-
I'll
Whatever
tell
it
you
is, it wasn't worth 25 minutes of our show.
I'll tell you off air, but shout out to the viewers.
Great
for-
win by
for
the
donating
Bills
to that.
last night.
if you
That
guys,
Look at the things we left on the table that we couldn't talk
That
about.
DB Aaron Rodgers won.
if you want to just listen, when I go home, if you just want to just turn the TV on, you can super chat me to here till like tonight, and I'll answer every question.
And you'll just keep reading them.
I'll keep reading them. Yeah, man. Tomorrow is Tuesday.
What was the
Next
average super chat? What's the average one?
We'll talk about this off air.
Yeah.
Mike,
we'll talk about this
our
off air.
boy Bryce Young was
not
terrible
worth it.
yesterday.
Bo Nix and Bryce Young. Our
Oh, no,
debate,
no.
Jay, did not get off to a
Oh,
good
no.
start.
Give me Bo Nix. There's one stat that counts: win or loss.
We're not doing
We
it.
spent 2 hours saying the loss didn't matter. Now it's all that matters.
No.
is the loss.
That's all that matters.
Jay did.
No, Jay did
Hold on,
not.
hold on. Did you guys-
Jay did not.
Did you guys ever settle that Brock Purdy bet y'all had? Remember y'all had that bet when you said you and Jay had a Brock Purdy
I don't
debate
remember that.
for a
I don't
whole
remember
year.
a bet on
It
that.
was a bet. It was literally
No,
a Brock.
I don't think it was a bet. I think
Well, Jay
No,
said,
what I
Jay
said
just said
was
Jay
Brock
lost
Purdy
his
was better
mind
than
and said
Josh Allen.
Brock Purdy's better than Josh Allen.
What did Brock Purdy do yesterday? I didn't even get to see his stat line.
That is-
He threw a
was.
game-winning touchdown with 10
Well,
seconds
you know
left.
what? I got to admit, I didn't see one play from that game. What did he do? Did he do anything?
He had, I mean, it was decent.
Okay.
Decent.
I didn't
Brock
do-
he
Purdy
did throw a
is
game-winning
not
touchdown.
a fly on the ass of Josh Allen,
Yeah, I'd love me some Brock Purdy.
but not better than Josh Allen. I mean, come on.
There's things I like about his game more, but if I had to choose in a vacuum, give me Josh Allen. Boy, how could you not say Josh Allen after what he did last night?
Purdy had 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 277.
That's a good day. I don't like the 2 picks, but if you just look at Flacco's line and saw 2 picks, you'd be like, yep, that's Joe Flacco. But what they look like. All picks are not created equal.
All right, let's go wrap it up for the show. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, no Guardians talk.